Zach, have you ever had a pre-order that you're waiting for and it comes in and you're really excited to get it, and then another one comes in and you're like, okay, well, that's a huge curveball. That's fine. And then a third one comes in and you're like, okay, this is not great. And then a fourth one comes in.
And you're like, I'm in
and
trouble
you're like,
now.
I don't really know how I'm going to pay for this. And then a fifth one comes in.
Jesus Christ.
and you're kind of really at the end of your rope. And then...
sixth one comes in?
No, a sixth one did not come in. But dear Lord, I am in trouble, bro.
So that's why you started the OnlyFans. Now I get it.
Yeah, my next news this week is going to be insane, bro.
It's a separate show.
What?
Bro,
right, we're gonna have a whole unboxing, just Dean's shit.
Dude,
Dean's unboxing.
Oh my god, I got an email for two of them, and then an email for the third. I was like, okay, well, that's a huge chunk of change. And then I was dealing with Rick because he's the one that pre-ordered them for me, and he was like, hey man, I'm really sorry, but I just got the email for the fourth one. I was like, dear God.
Are any hot toys?
No.
And they're all third party, right?
Yeah.
So they'll arrive on time then.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
I mean, they're sitting in his garage, but yeah, you're not wrong.
So what did you get? What did you get?
Two of those crappy ring wraiths.
Oh, that sucks.
One of my Final Fantasy figures that I was excited for. Then a ring wraith from Asmus. So that'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad called me today. He's like, hey, remember that shotgun you wanted me to buy like months ago? It's ready. And I was like, fuck.
Something you don't hear in Canada.
Dude, just all these things, one after the other. It's stressing me out, man. It's stressing me out.
You know, a figure's got to be bad, John, when Asmus is somehow the better figure between the two.
It's true.
Oh.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Should we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm John.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our friends over at 1/6 Corner for sponsoring tonight's episode of Collecting Weekly. Don't forget to use code CW10 for 10% off all in-stock items. That's code capital C, capital W10.
We have a great show planned for you guys tonight. We have some very interesting topics for discussion, and we got a lot of angels in the chat. We got Toy Mafia, Thor Gaming, Niculio the Great and Powerful, SpongeBob SquareBalls, good evening, gentle folks, Sam Gist. Sam, very exciting news on Patreon. Be sure to log in and check that out, and be sure to cast your vote. Absolute Irwin, Doc Smizzle, David Jones, Stephen Kret, John the Everyday Collector, Pablo Meza, Fat Batman's Collecting, Nightmare, Badfish, DJ Yomo, Niculio says episode 241, Bankruptcy and Foreclosure, The Sweet Angel, Mark Pearson, Equan, Thor says, are they Zach One Airline exclusives? Man, I've been terrible lately. Jason Nelson, Jeff Ramos says, what brand of shotgun at Dream?
You know, that's a really good question. I believe it's the Remington, or yeah, I'm not sure. It's the police department got brand new shotguns, so they retired the old ones. So they had to ship it off to get it like cleared like the serial numbers and then shipped back, so it's taken several months to do that. But I don't actually have it in hand, so I'm not sure. But
wow, Vintage Rebellion, Mr. Mom Collectibles. What is good, everyone? Dean, we have a very special segment that we kick off all the best shows.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I had a pretty okay week. On Sideshow, they had it was like a 5 or 10% off this figure. And then I had $25 in rewards. So I picked up Krillin, SH Figure Arts.
Look at that.
So, yeah, the original Krillin, it was like a $200 figure. This is a completely redone 2.0. It doesn't share any parts with the original one. Much better, in my opinion. So this was only like a $50 figure, and then with shipping, it was like 60 or 70. So it knocked it down to $40. So I was like, dude, why not? I need a Krillin anyway. Here he is. I love it. And then also I went to HEB, and I've been on the hunt for this guy for a while. It's the Egg Robo from Jack's Pacific, Sonic the Hedgehog. This guy, these retail for $10 at the grocery stores or like Targets or wherever. And he's like a $30 figure online. I guess he's not very common, like to the case. Maybe like one per case. So people find it, buy it, and then try and flip it. And he's classic. I mean, if you know Sonic games, this is a classic villain, dude. They fly around there with little jetpacks and shoot at you. He's got
100%.
the cannon there. It's a cool figure.
Very
so
cool.
I'm still hunting for. I need Knuckles, Amy, Rouge, Shadow. I think that's it. But yeah, super cool. Glad I added him. But that was my new this week. How about you guys?
Yeah, so I think this is the third time I may have mentioned this figure on the show. I'm really triple dipping here, but the reason I'm bringing this up again is because I finally had a chance to unbox, and I was really blown away by this. I don't think that the pictures necessarily did it justice. Like, it was a design that I was really happy to get, and then unboxing an original trilogy figure made me feel like a kid again. Like, I haven't had that sensation unboxing a figure in a while. Just like the material of the jacket, every little detail, all the dirtiness of it, I was really blown away. The sculpt is, it's fine. It's not like anything crazy, but I think overall, like, this is one of my favorite figures that I've unboxed this year. And he's sitting over here in the collection now. And yeah, just really, really happy. So anyone that's on the fence, I'd say there's probably going to be a lot of good deals on this guy, hopefully coming up here soon. So I think it would be a good one to pull the trigger on, honestly.
Such a beautiful figure. I'm shocked it's still available, to be honest.
I want one so bad, but I have all these pre-orders I got to do.
Yeah, Dean. I think you could sacrifice one ring wraith to get this guy instead.
Or a shotgun.
Yeah. No way. I'd rather have a shotgun. Is the material of the jacket something... Because obviously having it in hand, you're able to feel it and kind of determine whether it's something that would deteriorate long term or is it something that will hold? Like,
it feels like it's something that would hold. It kind of feels like, if you have one of those down jackets, like a puffy jacket.
Yeah,
really
like a windbreaker.
Like, there you go. Like, yeah, so a little less like...
not pleathery.
Yeah,
peely.
so... No.
Okay.
Yeah, hard to describe, but yeah, like one of those puffy jackets, basically.
Okay, cool.
John,
yeah, because
the Michelin.
There you go.
I really want this figure, so
I would highly recommend, especially if you can get a good deal on him. I would say don't even think about it. And John, to your point, him being available, they're just overproduced every figure, as you know, right now. In a perfect world, this guy would be a chase figure. But I'm really happy to be able to add him.
I think he will be when he hits that sold out stage. I think he will be.
Especially because there's so many other Lukes coming out, right? That maybe a lot of people are waiting on the other iterations. Yeah. But yeah, I just really, really was happy with this one.
I haven't watched many unboxings of this figure, or if any, I don't think. I didn't know it came with this snow pile. Or is that something that you added in and it's faking
No,
me
so it comes with like kind of the standard hexagon base, and then it has a little plate that goes over, and then it's got a little plastic piece you can attach to the front. So I kind of thought it was going to be cheap, and I was like, I won't use the base. But it actually like comes together as a nice cohesive package where I'm like, it adds like some cool depth to the figure.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Good pickup.
Very cool. Very cool. Ben, what did you get this week?
Yeah, so I saw this guy on Facebook Marketplace a couple weeks ago, and he was on for 150 Canadian, which I saw this guy probably 8 or 9 years ago in a mall display, and I was like, that's a really badass Deadpool. But then I ended up buying the Ryan Reynolds one, so I was like, I don't really need this one now, kind of thing, unless I ever see like a really good deal. And he was on Facebook Marketplace for 150 bucks, and I expected him to be gone kind of the next day because he still looks like he's going for anywhere between like 300 and 400 Canadian, like from most collectors. And he sat there and he sat there and he sat there. So I finally messaged the guy and I was like, if you're willing to do 120 Canadian, like I'll come today. Expecting him to be like, no, like I'm basically, it's already half price as it is. Sure enough, he messages me back same day. He's like, yeah, sure, if you want to come pick it up, all good.
Awesome.
So I went, picked it up in the guy's parking lot, asked him why he was selling it for like such a reasonable price. Half expected him to be like busted inside the package. And he said he was getting into statues and that he hated posing. He just was a collector. He thought he was going to like 1/6 scale, hated posing. And so this was his first figure and he decided to unload it. So
you should have told him about John's channel.
I did. I said, check out Collecting Weekly. I said, we've got statue talk on Fridays every week, but also the Monday show. You never get to see it. So
because John doesn't pose figures.
Wow. How dare you?
Poor John. He's sitting here minding his own business. I love you, John.
That went over my head. I was like, oh, yeah, statues. Yeah. But no, it was cool. And then I ended up using this guy in my Pose Wars win on Saturday night. So if you've missed Pose Wars,
you won?
You got to check it out.
Can I take my bonus point back?
Yeah, give it
I
to
was happy.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan killed it too. All the competitors were awesome that night. So I thought so.
You live by the no stand, you die by the no stand. That single one.
That's fair. I wasn't judging.
He really killed it that first round when this figure hit the floor.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, got a big old scuff on the snoz.
Oh no.
Did it actually?
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
I hope not. Jeez.
I picked up this model, and this is the...
Bro, this is badass.
So it's called Bayard's Revenge, and it's part of the Warhammer commemorative series. So the model that I just finished painting on our Joy of Hobbying Live, that was also a commemorative model. This is this year's model.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, you're going to ask a question?
Oh, I was actually going to ask, is it the same as last week's?
Yeah, it's in the same series now. Cool. This one I did do a little bit of conversion work or custom work, so it has all the symbols out of the box for like a different army, and so I sliced those off with a razor blade and then glued some of the symbols of my army, so the necklace and then kind of like his stomach area now has the fist logo. This, I think, John, you'd really like the way this company does this. So they have these models and they sell them, I think, for like, I think this one was about a week or 2 weeks, right? And you can only buy them during those 2 weeks, right? Once those 2 weeks are done, check this out. They take every model that didn't get sold and they destroy them.
Nice.
Holy.
And they never sell them again. Now, I guess what they do is they melt the plastic back into like, the raw material.
It's recycled.
And then they recycle the plastic and they recycle the paper, I guess, and the cardboard. But I was asking the guy, I was like, that seems like really crazy. Like maybe just make a little less, because when I went, they maybe had like 50 left, like right an hour before closing on Sunday. And I wasn't planning to buy this, but once he's like, yeah, Monday you absolutely cannot buy this. Like we'll have them in the store, but they're like register locked. They won't actually allow us to sell them. And so the guy's like, yeah, if you want one, like it's either buy it today at retail or tomorrow it'll be like 2 to 3 times as much on eBay. Because they're now technically not out of production / sold out everywhere.
So what does a piece like this go for?
Now that's the thing. This was not a fun purchase because I've been printing models that are this big for like 10 cents. Obviously they're not legal models. I'm ashamed to say this one was like $45. This was a tough buy. But
Everything's so inflated now that doesn't sound like so crazy.
$45 and you have to paint it yourself?
Yeah, $45. But it is a bigger model. It does come with like a full-size orc on the base, and I mean it's a very dynamic. It's like a statue, almost like a mini statue. So
now, do they break the mold after they?
Yeah. They said that they have never in the whole company's history ever reproduced because they've been around 30, 40 years, never once reproduced a model like this. I know John's salivating right now. They said one time they accidentally relisted them on the website and they were taken down like almost immediately. And in order to like satiate the people that did buy it, they sent them like a few $100s worth of product as like, sorry we messed up, but we can't.
Oh, wow. And they didn't even give it to them. That's a company.
They didn't. Yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, dude, I got to tell John about this. John's probably going to start buying Warhammer tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did
part of you think to, buy one or two more to flip and pay for this one?
I'm so poor right now. It wasn't.
You gotta have money to make money. I get that, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta say no to these opportunities.
Yeah, there was a part of me, to be honest, because I was thinking like, man, what if I mess up the conversion, and I'm kind of stuck with like a dud? But at that price point, maybe I was a little bit more baller. Yeah, definitely, right? Because the model that I bought, which was used, I got it at a great price, much below what it was going for on eBay, because this dude had just slopped paint all over it and took a lot of work to get it cleaned up for new paint. But that one sold, I think, for $25, and the aftermarket, like sealed in box, is like $130. So pretty nice little percentage increase.
Do they have an ES or anything like that?
They don't. But again, once it's sold out,
that's it. Yeah.
It's a guarantee that it's never coming out again. Now they might make this character in a different pose, with a different whatever. But as far as like this sculpt is never going to come back again. Okay. So, this is. I thought it was a neat way that they do it, and I guess it makes sense because their product is fairly easily recycled into new. Put the plastic into different model kits. But that's it was a kind of a purchase that I had to make make on Sunday.
Just make sure Howard doesn't take over the company.
Jesus Christ. This model will be back next week.
So, who makes these? What's the company called?
Games Workshop / Citadel. So
they make the model, and then somebody who's a retailer of them orders 100.
Only their official flagship stores.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So the Games Workshop stores.
So the Games Workshop gets, let's just say, 100 in stock, and they only sell 50. They then have to send it back to Citadel.
Yep. Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
What I think they do, because I did ask about that. I think the way it works is like they have a distribution center, because Citadel's or Games Workshop's overseas in England, headquartered. I think they ship it back to the regional distribution, and then those like one big package goes back to England. I don't think it's every single store sending it back to England, but yeah, basically, yeah. He's like, we send them to a warehouse, and then they get recycled or whatever.
That's wild.
I don't know. Maybe he was just telling me that, but I've seen the aftermarket on these like commemorative models, and they're crazy expensive.
Yeah. For how small they are, yeah, absolutely. But even like you and I were saying the other day with like those the Titans and those big those are $1,200-$1,300. So that's. I mean, I'm sure those get reproduced all the time, but for this to be such a limited thing, and you're only spending $40 a pop, hopefully, to then bring it around, turn around and sell for $150-$300 is pretty cool.
Yeah, and obviously that's going to take some time for it to get to that dollar amount. I'm looking on eBay, and it seems like you can still get it for pretty cheap. But 6 months, a year from now, that's going to be a much different price. We are doing Hot Seat tonight, and being that it's the end of the month, and also thinking of 4 really good questions every week is kind of difficult. I wanted to do a little bit of trivia. There's been some questions I've kind of been thinking in the back of my mind for a few weeks of like, if we did a trivia, a little less subjective as the judge, we can have a concrete, is your answer correct or not correct? So we'll be playing a little bit of a Jeopardy, so to speak. And I know there's a lot of other collecting channels that have done trivia. My dear friend Will Fox Vacation, I think, was one of the first that I've seen. So no offense intended, but I think it's such a fun little thing that I wanted to adopt it for Hot Seat. But enough of that. Let's get into the news. We're starting with Hot Toys Green Goblin, the upgrade suit, retailing for $395, releasing October 2023 to March 2024. I think this was a no-brainer. I think when we saw the movie, and the only thing that we got initially in that first batch of pre-orders was the original suit. I was thinking there's no way that we're not going to get this. And I think they delivered. I think the portrait that they've given us, I think, looks really good. I really like the outfit. I think the glider, it's going to be good. The details on this are really nice. It's really interesting because this portrait, I always complain that Hot Toys does really gray portrait paint. It has a very nice flesh color. I was genuinely surprised by that. And for an expressive portrait, we give Hot Toys a lot of shit for things like Ant-Man and some of their other portraits. I think this might be one of their best.
Yeah.
Maybe one of their best.
I don't think you can do Willem Dafoe in a neutral face.
No, you had to do him smiling like this.
Yeah.
Like a lunatic.
100%. Not only Willem Dafoe in general, but this character specifically with that maddening grin. I cannot say enough good things about this sculpt. Again, prototype might change down the line. But as it sits, this figure is a banger. 100%. The glider's cool. It articulates. You'll be able to, move his legs, and the ankles are on ball pegs. So you can get some pretty wild glider leg positions. The suit looks great. All the little detailing on it is not just like printed on. It's like actual like separate pieces. The leather strap and waistband looks kind of cheesy here. Maybe like the materials used could be a little bit better. But I think it looks pretty damn good as it sits.
We got Chris Letty in the chat. Sweet angel. Vane21 says, is that John, the everyday collector, star of Canadian Carpool? And Jason Nelson. John, what do you think about this?
I think it looks phenomenal. I think this is this is Hot Toys, an example of Hot Toys stepping up to the plate. $395. What do you guys think of that? Not the worst, considering that you get the glider. Not the worst. I think maybe nitpicking would have been the base, to have one of those, maybe a little bit more intricate with some more detail, as opposed to just the plain base with stand. Yeah. But that's like nitpicking. I think I like the portrait. I think it's really well done. It looks like it's ripped off the screen. The other concern would be the one they showed a few months ago. That's getting a portrait as well. Do we know if it's
the same portrait?
Yeah,
it's the same portrait?
Yeah, it's the same portrait. So this is they did a little post just like updating.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, it's the exact same portrait.
Like if you go, that shot's phenomenal. Like, wow.
I mean, it looks incredible.
It's crazy.
Now, the one thing I would be really curious to see is if his teeth actually look like that, because they're definitely not like if you would just think of generic teeth. These look very specific. Mm-hmm. And I bet they went through the effort of like actually really sculpting these. And to John's point about the price, we had gotten the deluxe version of the glider. I want to say earlier this year. It's been quite a while. Obviously, inflation, whatnot. That one's also $375. Mm-hmm. One thing that is interesting, though, I don't know if it's that interesting, but the original Goblin, you had the option for $285 without the glider. $375 with it, and with this one you only have the option with the glider. I don't think anyone would buy it without just pointing that out for clarity's sake.
And it's a different glider, is that correct, or is it the same? Do you know?
I want to say
it looked very similar.
I believe it's the same exact glider.
Yeah, I want to say it's the same. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I believe.
So
you're
almost better off if you want the original one to. Damn. Pick up the original one without the glider and then this one with the glider.
Yeah,
because you kind of get trapped. But the problem is they put that one up first, so everybody probably jumped on the bandwagon and went with the one with the glider.
And it depends. Though,
you had to know this was coming, though, right?
Oh, of course,
100%. Sorry, Marco. Please go ahead.
What a rookie move. No, so Zach, I have the same concern about the teeth. If the final product doesn't come out with like these teeth really pristine, that's something that could really throw off this figure, right? Because as this prototype stands, it looks spot on. Honestly, it looks just like Willem Dafoe. And to Dean's point, like they had to do some type of menacing look. They couldn't just do a closed mouth look. So this prototype's very strong. I had my concerns with the standard Spider-Man 1 Goblin suit because it's just kind of all green. There's no contrast. Like, to me, it doesn't make for a very interesting figure. The only accessory that this is missing is like a broken mask. But to John's point, like I really like this, and I would consider getting this version and maybe the standalone Spider-Man 1 version of the Goblin. Now, that's way more goblins than I need. But yeah, it just looks so good that I'm really, really tempted to kind of go further down this line. But yeah, really happy with how this prototype turned out.
I think it's interesting that they've captured some personality in this sculpt. I think one of the things that I would have loved to see, because he's got multiple personalities, is to literally have a second head sculpt with this version, but one with like with the sympathetic look, right? Like that kind of like sad, like, oh, like I'm so old, I don't know what's happening to me kind of like look, right? Like you had in the beginning half of that film, because it'd be cool to come past your display every once in a while and him just literally have that very, very kind of dichotomy of personality available. I did see last night that there is a low stock remaining on the that first Green Goblin with the glider.
Good call, Ben. Meant to mention that as well.
Yeah, so if that's a figure that you have been considering or you've been waiting for, kind of waiting to see what this version might come out as and stuff like that, keep that in mind. Obviously, you're going to be able to find it still, but once they go out on Sideshow, they sometimes get more expensive or harder to find. So something to consider. I'm not loving the fact that we didn't get to see like an actual in-hand review of that figure before it's feeling like we're supposed to now decide whether we want this one or not. I don't love that feeling, but that's the way she's going.
They're going to force
lately,
our
right?
hands moving forward, right?
100%. For me, I liked this character in this film. I thought it was really good. But I grew up with the Raimi trilogy, so like when I close my eyes and envision the Green Goblin, I still really do see that helmeted version instead. I think the only reason that I would lean towards this one potentially more is I do like some of that purple, like the purple shroud that he's got on him and stuff. But Marco, that's a good point. I wish it had come with a broken helmet piece. I know that was kind of at the beginning of the film before we really saw this armor kind of come to fruition, but that would have been a really cool, like even just like a deluxe accessory piece or something added, right? Just to kind of separate it a little bit. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of timed exclusive that you love to see, right?
Man, Ben, you really like Goblin.
I do, yeah. I've always been a big
Goblin. These
nuts.
Oh
Got
him!
Shut up, Nicolio!
Oh,
damn, bro.
Wow.
Oh my!
Man, I thought when I was speaking,
I
was like, I'm saying Goblin way too much right now. Someone's gonna get me here. Better you than me.
I thought I was prepped for the show. No, definitely not. So you love to see it.
Hook, line, and sinker, bro. Why are you muted? I want to hear that laugh.
I saw Nicolio's comment. I was like, I gotta do it for him. So, shut up, Nicolio.
Remember, Dean, the desperate, bro.
Desperate.
Spread this ass apart.
Just spread this ass apart.
Bro, we have so that was pure anarchy, but that was so fun back in the day when we were just slam dunking on each other. Let me
I want to mention one more thing, just quickly. This is a prime example of what Hot Toys has in their back pocket and what they can 100%. Do. Like, we were going back and forth a couple weeks ago on that Cobb Vanth portrait. Like, I don't think, without a doubt, anyone could come out and say this portrait is lacking. I think the community is pretty even there in the same kind of group, and like they're not they're what's the word I'm looking for?
Divisive.
Divisive. That's it. I was gonna say decisive. I'm like, what the divisive? This is what they should be doing with every release going forward. I don't know what sculptors they're using. Maybe JC. But this is the kind of quality that we need to be getting.
You're right, John. They set the bar so high with ones like this, where anything less than this quality is just not good enough normally.
Mm-hmm.
Looking on their page, I think this is sculpted by Kisma. Very good.
Kisma.
Fuck, John. Jesus, John, you ruined my setup. Ben was about to fall for that one too.
I'm going to bed.
I can't let a fellow
screw you guys.
take another hit.
I'm surprised you're not already in bed.
I am. You just can't see it. I'm sitting on the edge.
Oh boy. I think it's interesting, right? Because I think there are a lot of people that it's Raimi or nothing, right? Like you're either gonna go with this. I wonder how well this is gonna sell. To be honest, like this was a cool part of the movie, I guess. But like Ben said, like when you close your eyes, and if you only had one representation, I don't know that it's this one.
For me, it wouldn't be.
And in a way, I'm almost glad they led with the original one first. But I think there's a lot of great points you guys made. I think some people will be upset that they may be locked into an NRD and a payment plan when this may have been the one they wanted. So,
And Zach, JC Hong posted the actual sculptor, and it's the same one who did the Wanda sculpt and a few others. So if you want to pull that up.
I thought it was him.
I thought it was Kisma. Let me...
Does he still sculpt for Hot Toys?
I actually have not seen him sculpt anything specifically. I think he normally reposts other sculptors that they have.
He used to. What?
So you want to pull up his Instagram, I guess?
Sorry, yeah. This is the sculptor here. This is not someone that I'm familiar with, but just showing kind of some of the other female sculpts that have been done in there that are pretty strong.
The Wanda looks great.
That Wanda does look really solid. Let's
This is a woman sculptor. You kept saying he. Okay.
I was saying he.
I may have gotten confused with what you were saying.
Let's see here. Toys Era The Exiled Terror 3/29 released in Q1 2023. This is what Steppenwolf, I think.
You've been stepping on this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to step on this, dude. All those spikes. What is? I mean, anyone gonna buy this?
No, but for those people out there who love those movies, I think it's a solid release. Also, his design lends well to a figure, I think. Especially this size. He's going to be a pretty big figure. Like, even with the articulation, like, I don't think it really gets in the way or, like, interrupts the sculpt too terribly. I think it's cool. I liked Steppenwolf way better in the extended version of the movie. 100%. He was so much cooler. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is actually a cool bad guy. In the first movie, I was like, why are we even doing this? But, yeah, it's cool. It's expensive. It's real expensive.
It's a big figure, too.
It's a big figure, yeah, exactly.
Well, and my buddy who's getting into...
Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, my buddy who's getting into 1/6 scale, when he was getting into it, one of the first questions he asked me is, do they have a Steppenwolf and Darkseid? Because he loved the Snyderverse version, right? So, I mean, new collectors come in who don't necessarily... They haven't been affected by us, Hot Toys boys yet, right? Like, they're still looking for these for sure.
Educate them.
Right?
Voice-activated light-up feature is cool.
I was just about to say that. I think that's going to be so
Steppenwolf
terrible.
on.
Really?
You got shit playing in your room. Fucking this thing's gonna be draining itself, bro.
Yeah, but like for example, with that, Hot Toy sees this. You never know what's gonna happen if they're gonna.
The clapper, you'd be like.
Because like, look at Toys Era. Toys Era, was it Toys Era that did that Goblin?
Yeah.
The original one.
Like
like that. You can't even look at that one.
I thought that was another
one.
setup.
It doesn't look like his knees articulate, which is weird, or maybe even the elbows. Goddamn.
The elbows do.
Oh,
the elbows do. You can see the joint.
Yeah. Okay. There's a few words.
Because in the back it doesn't look like it, but yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was cool for those people because for the longest time, I mean, even now, DC really doesn't get a ton of stuff if it's not third party.
It's true.
So you have to make a good movie.
It's just cool.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool.
It helped me be on the way, but I will say I don't know why they're wasting time on Steppenwolf. I know people appreciated that character more in the extended cut, and obviously Ben's buddy was looking after one, but Darkseid, come on, give us a Darkseid, because that could translate for like so many collections and just such an iconic character. One. Have we talked about a Darkseid?
Yeah, I feel like we talked about one not that long ago.
I don't know.
Maybe it's something I missed.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. This is a thing. Galaxy Old Man which may be the best name since Black High School Student Miles. 109 release in Q1 2023. Apparently, the aftermarket price on Pulp Daddy here is quite expensive.
Really?
I hadn't realized how expensive he had gotten.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very simple figure. I don't think that there's really a lot that's going to go into this. I think the big defining factor of how good this kit will or won't be is going to be the hands. Looking at this photo here, it's not particularly promising. The sculpted hands on that figure, they're real Sith-like, real gnarly looking nails, and this kind of doesn't look particularly good. And I also don't remember his boots being brown. I was almost certain they were black. But it's been a long time since I've owned this figure. But you got him on the in your collection. You got the hood over the face, so the paintwork on that won't really matter. And the Hot Toys electric effects weren't that great, so I feel like there's not a lot of quality to lose here. So
yeah, for $100, I mean, you really can't go wrong, honestly.
It's just the clothing, right? No portrait.
No, the portrait.
No, it is
there.
the portrait, no body.
No body.
But is that the Hot Toys portrait or their own portrait?
No. This is like a third party kit. Like you buy it and it's probably a recasted portrait.
Oh, recasted portrait.
Hands.
No, don't be, guys. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on.
Oh, here we go. Erwin says the boots are brown. Maybe I should do my homework. But yeah, there's another picture of it here with the fucking portrait
Go
blurred
for
out.
Palpatine.
Blurred out, yeah.
No. Don't do it to yourself.
It's what it is. I just thought it was cool because we always talk about Star Wars. There's usually not a ton of third-party Star Wars stuff.
Not many at all. Yeah.
And Palpatine again is such an easy figure to do. It's just an old man in robes. So, yeah, $100. You just put any body you have lying around in there. You're never gonna see it. So who cares if it's fucking ripped or not? Don't want to be too tall, but.
Oh, I'm Palpatine be yoked.
Yeah, dude. Put a fucking Fison M34 on there, just like ripping his cloak off.
He's got two necks because it's it's a Fison. So it's...
No, it's all the muscle, all the Sith muscle you get.
Wow.
When you convert, yeah.
You'll love to see it. So there's that. This was cool. The Iconic Studios Silent Hill 2 figures. I'm gonna say this. And I don't want this to sound obtuse, but boy, they're making some random, it seems like everywhere, right? Which isn't a bad thing, right? Because we always say with Hot Toys, we always say with Hot Toys, like they kind of get into their
niches.
Their niches, right? That you get 27 Iron Man figures, you get 34 Spider-Man figures. So I don't hate that these are kind of just out there figures, but they kind of went from Muhammad Ali, a historical figure, then to Patrick Bateman, a classic movie figure, and now they're doing 2 video game figures, and then Elvis. Which I guess when you say it like that, maybe it's not that random.
Yeah, they're dabbling into a whole bunch of stuff to see what sticks.
I want to see I don't want to say a direction, but I think as their list of things that they're making fills out, I hope that we can kind of start to see a pattern. I really wanted them to make a Willy Wonka, to be honest, but
Willy Wonka would be crazy.
I don't know this game though.
Which
this
Willy
could be
Wonka?
Yeah, in the chat earlier, you were like, "What's the Resident Evil thing?" I was like, "How dare you?"
I don't think I said that. No, I said, did we get the price info on it? Because people added
on the Resident Evil thing is what you said.
Oh, did I?
Ignorance all around.
I regret nothing.
So Zach, really quickly, sorry, Dean, just because Andy was on OFAC, right, on this channel.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to plug. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but he was talking about how they really linked up with Konami because they're re-releasing Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's it's a relevant property right now, actually.
Yes, which is arguably the second most successful horror video game franchise ever made. Silent Hill 2 is incredible.
But I had the same thought, though. This is kind of just a weird of all the video game characters, but because of that remake, it makes a bit more sense.
I would have liked to see, instead of the nurse, James, because the Pyramid Head and James are linked. Like he technically is the Pyramid Head in this weird fucked up way.
Spoilers, bro.
I mean, the game is fucking like 30 years old. Come on,
legitimately.
But yeah, the remake of the game is coming out. Seems like they're sticking true to the original game, which is nice to see. I think a new movie is also coming out. So Silent Hill is about to be very mainstream again.
Yeah, multiple games actually, Dean. Like they're going all in on this property again.
Yeah. It took a long hiatus there because Konami's a fucking idiot, and they're a bunch of assholes. So yeah, they're kind of figuring out that they fucked up, and they're coming back to it. So it's really cool to see. These are amazing. I think Iconic. What I'm looking at, nailed it. So I'm very excited. In fact, I have a Pyramid Head right here on my sister's desk.
Oh, do you really? Wow.
Just to clarify the pricing, the Red Pyramid thing is $289, releasing Q4 2023, and the Bubblehead Nurse is $249, releasing Q4 2023. I think the weathering looks fantastic, though. I think that's really well done. I always say this, and I'm going to continue to always say this. I don't love the seamless stuff. I feel like regardless of the testing, I think eventually it's going to become a problem. But I do like me some weathered metal, and I think they got this done pretty well. Maybe the hand selection seems a bit light for both figures, but overall,
this is the Figma
definitely not
version.
too bad.
The first time Pyramid Head chases you through that level, it is terrifying, bro.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's stuck with me for years in horror video games. And now that they're coming out with the PS5 version, this has me amped up. I may definitely pick this guy up.
Oh,
I
you're
think
tempted,
he's
huh,
pretty cool.
Ben?
I am very
That's awesome.
tempted. I loved Silent Hill games. They were some of the first horror games I ever tried. And so when you actually beat a game like that, you feel so gratified because you're like, I actually survived that shit. Like, I felt the same way about Resident Evil 1 and 2. Like, I loved those games as well. Same reason.
Yeah.
Definitely check out our sister show, OFAC. They did an interview, like Marco mentioned, with Andrew from Iconic, and it's great that it was kind of an unplanned thing. I think this was like a last minute that it was able to come together, but it's a really, really solid interview with one of the cornerstones of collecting. I think, Keyboard Warriors / Iconic / Andrew, one of the nicest people in the biz, and, came on our show right with some big news, so you'll love to see it. I'm being told here that I should plug this. Let me see here. Thank you, Ben and Sam. For Mondo, I guess this is ending soon. On sale now, the Mondo exclusive 1/6 scale Battle Cat, as well as a regular version of our 1/6 scale He-Man. This is only available as a week-long timed edition until November 1st at 11:59 a.m. Central Time. So,
Bro, this Battle Cat is huge.
It is huge.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty good.
It's cute.
That is cute.
They had a picture of a girl holding it, and it was like bigger than her shoulders. It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
ends on November
Ben
the
and Sam.
1st. So, yeah.
Yeah, better mention that. Yeah, so these are for pre-order. Also, the Silent Hill pre-order, the Silent Hill stuff. So that's very cool.
And sorry, Absolute Irwin has a good point in the chat here too. He says there's definitely a market for video game characters in 1/6, hoping to see Iconic do more. That's also what I get excited about with the potential here. Like, it is a little bit random, like if you're not a horror game fan. But I feel like video game characters is such an untapped market still. There are so many I can think of. And Iconic seems like they have a love for the properties they go after, which gets me even more amped about it, right? So, yeah. It's cool.
And so if you watch that interview with Andy, he was, talking about how he's a big video game guy and that they want to do more. And he talked about like the sideshow Nathan Drake, that was terrible, and that there, there's not a lot of good video game 1/6 characters. So yeah, I want to see more as well.
I would love a classic Lara Croft. That'd be fucking amazing. There's so many games I could pick and choose. Legend of Dragoon, any Final Fantasy. I mean, we have some coming out now for 7, but there's 15 of them you could choose from. So it is cool to see Silent Hill up there.
Absolutely.
Speaking of cool to see, Joy Toy, they've.
Whoa.
I don't know if they've officially announced
this
it.
Is small talk.
This is. I talk about like I want to.
Yeah, just kidding.
I was gonna do that to you the other day when you want to talk Final Fantasy stuff, but we were already having a spicy show. So, at any rate, they're finally breaching into Tau. They've done a bunch of Imperial stuff. They've teased some Orc stuff, and so this was the army that I first played when I played.
Oh, is this Warhammer?
Yeah, this is Warhammer.
Oh, okay.
But these are the figures, right? So remember the 1/18th scale. So this is this will probably be about a 13 inch tall figure.
Okay, so quite
supposedly. But this is really fucking awesome. So this is a Tau commander, comes with a few different armaments, and the one thing I think is going to be interesting to see as we get to the next battle suit here is if the weapons will be interchangeable. Because this commander, he seems to be missing a weapon. They should have two weapons.
Why doesn't he have hands?
The hands are like built into the
forearm.
They're like, yeah.
He's a robot. Why does he need hands?
He's a robot. Actually, there's a person inside, but yeah, he's kind of like in the chest cavity. At any rate, they're doing a commander. They're doing a non-commander crisis suit. They're doing Commander Shadow Sun, which is a really cool thing, and they don't show it, but it should have a helmet that goes over her head. But this is really neat. And then they're also doing a tactical, or I think they're called fire teams of fire warriors. So this is really cool. There's no prices or pre-orders on these yet. They kind of leaked like a big list of all the figures they were going to make. And I think they had to formally announce these because of that leak. But this is it's really cool for us Warhammer people.
Yeah. Well, Joy Toy in general is really cool. I feel like they're kind of underrated, honestly. Yeah. But they don't make anything that I buy, so I never get into their stuff. But they do really cool mechs, and they do them at such a small scale. But the mechs are still like, 15 inches tall. But again, it's not properties I know or want to actively buy. So when you posted these, I didn't know it was Warhammer. I was like, okay, like that's weird, I guess.
Yeah,
but that makes sense.
One thing that is interesting, though, is in the crisis suits, they're shown with, like, the support stand, and I feel like the engineering on these should be such that they could just not have to have a stand. The fact that it's in the promo shots means that, like, in your cabinet, you 100% will need a stand, because they've shown, like, other models that are much bigger, like the Primaris Dreadnoughts, and they don't have a stand in the photos. So.
Could they be, like, back heavy? Like, is there, like, a backpack on it or something?
Maybe. The only thing I can think of is they have jetpacks on the back, so maybe it's like a flight stand so you can pose them flying, but I hope that they could stand on their own, because that would kind of be lame if they couldn't.
Yeah, it looks like there's ratcheted knee joints there.
Yeah.
So it should be able to hold the weight, but unless they're back heavy, it won't really matter if the knees will hold or not.
Absolutely.
It only remains to be seen.
That's what they say. John, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, then we'll get into some meat and potatoes here.
Yeah, we want to thank 1/6 Corner. Their mission is to provide the best figures and collectibles to their customers. They offer great prices, great packaging, fast shipping, and best in the business customer service. Collecting Weekly listeners get 10% off in stock figures while our show is live using code capital C, capital W 10. Choose your figures, pay safely with PayPal, and leave the rest to them.
Thank you, John. So we did get some clarification from other John, Queen Studios John, about a lot of the questions that the community had last week. We also got some clarification on the working relationship between Toys Wonderland, Queen, and Justin. And I know Justin also clarified quite a bit in a show that you were a part of, Ben. I want to say it was on Leal's channel, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, happy birthday, Leal. He's got a birthday stream going on today, so we wish him the best.
Happy birthday, bud.
So I'm gonna read these messages. We did get permission to share these. We did rather get permission to share these. So the first answer here is in response to what was and wasn't a prototype, because it was very mixed messaging. Before our last show, we had gotten some clarification from Justin. Hadn't heard from Inar in about 3 or 4 weeks before that. After the show, they had put up a response to a thread on their Facebook group that was a bit contrary to what we had stated. We had to release a video on Wednesday, Marco and I, clarifying, this new information because it made us look bad. This is from the mouth of Babe, so I would say this is probably as close as you're going to get to a formal answer. The Joker is the final product, but because the paper and the inner packaging has not yet been fully approved for copyright, Justin says prototype in the caption. Because all the formalities can be announced, it cannot be announced as the final ones. Our official has also updated the production video and factory. You can have a look. The Gandalf is a production model made by the factory according to our sample. That is the standard of mass production. And because the licensee reviewed it and so on, it can only be labeled prototype. Kind of concerning because I think there was a lot of issues with that Gandalf figure, but that's neither here nor there. The Batman and Pennywise are samples which we labeled prototypes. So those were not final products as their initial marketing would have you believe. They also talked about some of the issues that we had with places like 1/6 Kit and TNS, or maybe not TNS, but I believe there was a few sites that had reopened pre-orders on some of these figures that had been sold out, quote unquote, or windows had closed. This 3-day window was in mainland China where the figure is licensed. The resellers can buy stock from anyone, and as they don't order from us, they can continue to sell the stock they have. This is why we are in the United States speaking to licensors and distributors so collectors can order from trusted sources that follow the set rules. There was a lot of talk about who they visited in America. Can't necessarily get into that because I don't have a full confirmation of that from John himself, just kind of secondhand reports. But they were obviously in the United States to look into new licenses and distribution. So obviously not every figure will be licensed internationally, but they are looking to start getting some figures licensed for our territories, as they said initially when they first kind of put out the big announcements. Brother Cousins, another great YouTuber, asked Justin... Oh, excuse me. This is in response, again, just clarifying again about the Joker. Do you have an exact shipping date when the first batch is shipping? The art box is done, so unfortunately, John, I know you said you kind of wanted them to tweak it a bit. Looks like that may be final for the Joker. They took those to the event, just waiting on the final licensor approvals before we can ship. The first batch in regards to the Joker could be end of this month or November. I know at least 200 pieces are complete from an initial run. I will know more next week, and we're still waiting to hear about that. He also says we put on this event purely for collectors with the best intentions. It seems to have caused some issues, and that's not what we wanted at all. We just wanted to show you guys what we were making and answer the questions about articulation, magnets, licensing, etc. John, can you block that site for me, please, in the comments? I'm more than happy to answer your questions as I see them. I also just read through. We don't work with Toys Wonderland. We reached out to Justin as he has a big channel, and we asked him to attend. He asked if we could sponsor his trip as he came from Australia. We couldn't do that for the budget, and two, it wouldn't be fair on anyone else that flew there and spent the money. Justin's trip was paid for by another company, and we don't work with them. For his reviews, he asked if he could come in and film the figures, the idea being that he could do a comparison from prototypes to the final pieces when he gets them. We thought this would be an interesting idea, so he came to LA. Again, they were kind of roaming around that part of the United States, doing different meetings and stuff, and shot while we were out in meetings. He and a few others also helped us set up, as it would have been impossible for just me and one other guy to do it in 5 hours. This is in regards to the question I had about the Aragorn. There was some damage as we brought them in a suitcase. We tried to fix it, but Viper wasn't happy and decided that it would be better to show it in Thailand next week. For any other questions, I can try and answer for you the best I can. That's all I want to do. Collectors have long told me they have no voice with a company, and now you do. If it gets too much for us, we might need to rethink things as we aren't perfect. We just want to make cool figures for a living. Oh shit, you blocked Equan, I think. Oh no.
Did I actually?
No,
we gotta unblock Equan.
How do you do that? You have to do it behind the scenes?
Yeah, I'll work on that. Sorry, Equan. That's our bad.
It's okay. It pisses me off sometimes anyway. No, I'm kidding.
So, there's a lot. I'm blocking Equan.
Do it quick. We'll talk. Do it quick while we talk.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, Equan. Not sorry. You blame the Russians there. Listen. It's a
Equan,
disaster.
You're good to go. Equan.
That was such a beautiful It was not a beautiful event, but it was an exciting event. There was so much on the line with the event, and I still think it was well done, but I think the communication tarnished it a bit.
Yeah.
They should have been better prepared, in my opinion. In regards to this statement, I think that John does a great job, but there's just too much. There's too much of a demand from the community. Queen has already come out and established they want to be a company that is part of the community, gets advice from the community, gets ideas and so forth. They want to be very vocal. They have to maintain that now. And I don't think that they can do it with just John. I really think he needs help. There should be a team that he works with throughout the community that can band together and really get answers out quickly, in a concise manner. And you throw an event like that, to hear back 3 days later, not very professional in my opinion, no matter what was going on. But I think that this should have been cleared up a little bit sooner. He needs a team. He needs help, in my opinion.
John, you know what they should have done? Oh, go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I think, John, you hit the nail on the head. I think Queen John, I think, obviously he speaks English. That's obviously very valuable to Queen. But, I mean, there's like a billion people in this country. Like, they got to find one other person that speaks English to help our man John out. Because, he's at this event. He's dealing with licensing deals. He's dealing with event setup. He's dealing with customer service. He's trying to probably manage the Facebook posts. I imagine if he's the only guy that speaks English, which honestly I'm not saying that he is, but it seems like it. I imagine he's probably has a hand in the graphic design. The posts that they're putting out. He needs help because he's working quite hard. We're asking him many questions, and I imagine that there's a lot of other people also asking him questions. I think it's too much to manage for one person. Even myself, and CW, right? We have so many people on our team that handle different things. It's just not possible, to be honest.
I did feel satisfied though by his answer. Like do you guys
did
feel,
or you didn't?
I did. Like, did you feel satisfied by the answer? Like, I thought it was a reasonable explanation.
I think
at least.
I think it's a black and white answer, but I don't love that we were still. I still think that there's a miscommunication, right? They're advertising certain figures are final, certain figures are prototype, and at the event, about half of those announcements were incorrect. So, I would say, if I was a collector and I went to Vegas and I'm a big It fan and I'm seeing, hey, It final product is going to be there, and I spend, $400, $500, $600 to go to Vegas for a night, I'd be very upset, to be honest, if I saw this, to be honest. I also think at the event, now that we've had about a week or two to process it, I don't love how little we really saw from it, right? And I've seen a lot of collectors on their Facebook page kind of comment the same thing about the Thailand event. They want HD photos, they want HD videos. I want to say out of the full event, there was only like maybe 11 photos posted, and 2 or 3 of them were just of people looking at their figures. So I think communication should still be more clear. I think it should be more consistent. I think they need to get more people that speak English. I don't know how active the non-English speaking fan base is for InArt. I imagine it's quite active, so they probably have a number of Johns on those different social media sites handling from the Chinese or the Hong Kong collectors. But US is such a, I know it's might not be the biggest market for 1/6, but it is a not an insignificant amount of people that collect in the States. I think they got to have more people that speak English because, essentially the delay between us getting this response was John was so busy and traveling and trying to deal with all this stuff. And it seems like that's the bottleneck, right? Anytime we're all trying to get this information, it's going from John, then to the higher ups, and then maybe to Viper, and then it would be nice to just have more people that we can ask these questions to. I think John's working too hard, and I think he needs help.
I think he should. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I think you nailed it too, Zach. Like, they may have a team in China for the non-English speaking folks, I'm wondering if once they have an official distributor in North America, like they'll use some of that help and marketing help from that distributor itself, similar to how Sideshow markets Hot Toys and does their own reviews and stuff like that, right? Like, I wonder if they're pumping the brakes on spending the money until they actually get an official license here.
Well, you know what the thing is? They don't. If they were smart, they don't really even need to spend money. They can use the streaming community. You have many talented people that take passion in the hobby, and that would be more than happy to assist. It's whether or not they want to do that. In regards to spending the money, the thing here is the product's not licensed here. They're doing shows and stuff like that, but the product's not licensed here.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird mixed message.
It's a gray
John,
area.
On your
I'm
point
almost
on the
wondering if that's
streaming
why they couldn't get into NYCC, because they're technically not bringing a license for sale in America product.
That's a really
but
good
that's
point.
speculation. I don't want anyone to think that that's the thing.
No, that definitely seems reasonable. So let me say my point, because I've been cut off a few times and I'm getting a little upset now.
I know.
Sorry, give you a hug.
The one time I was like,
yeah, no, I thought you were
can't get a fucking word in on my own show.
But so to John's point about using the streaming community, obviously doing an offsite stream would be risky because you don't know the bandwidth, but it's Vegas. There's plenty of places where they could find a nice high quality internet connection. You've got Justin there in a capacity, like have him do a live stream, take like questions from the audience, take questions from people on the internet. You could have cleared up a lot of these things. Obviously there was a lot of logistics to set up this whole event. So maybe, time would have been constrained, but you could have cleared up a lot of these things pretty easily instead of, having a few days lapse until we got really clarification. But I do appreciate John, I feel satisfied to Ben's question. All of his responses really, it's like, okay, it makes sense. There's reasonable explanations for all of these things, but it's just kind of the time of when it comes through needs to be streamlined a bit more.
They need to jump on it before all that criticism and negative comments start rolling.
There's been 3 days of streams at that point.
Yeah, to that point, like, you're in Vegas. You're not like in the woods with no, like in the boondocks. Like, go to Best Buy, get a fucking Yeti, plug it into your laptop, and do a quick stream. Like, it's $100.
Justin knows how to do the StreamYard stuff. They
couldn't go live with Justin. The community would have eaten them alive.
You could even do a Facebook Live on John's own.
I mean,
Facebook.
the thing is, you have content creators like Riley, Oilers, and other people going live at their own event. Yeah,
true. Make John available to everybody or something.
I don't think that it's not possible to do even a post live recap, because at OxCon, right? Everyone showed up, was like, shit, we need some equipment. I overnight Amazon some stuff, and we were able to do the recordings we needed to do. Obviously, that's not apples to apples, but we're not a significant company at all, not making any money, and we were able to pull all the equipment we needed for what we needed.
They could have figured it out.
I don't understand how this, this wasn't able to be done, to be honest.
If this wasn't rushed, I feel like it was rushed, or wasn't.
100%.
It wasn't planned out, because what could have been done nicely. Okay, Justin did what he did because at the end of the day, he deserves it. He has the following, and the guy does his unboxings, and a shit ton of people. It's exposed to a ton of people, and it's a business. Okay, let him do that. Fantastic. His fan base can get the views, the close-ups. He did a good job. But at the same time, let him do him, and then incorporate the other streamers that took the time to go. So Riley was there. He could have done Gandalf. Another one was there. They could have had the Joker, and really had a one-on-one with a Queen rep or someone who doesn't necessarily have to be from Queen, but who studied and knows the product, someone well-versed in the product, to be in the video as well. Like, it could have just been really well choreographed and a much better...
I want to like that idea, but I also... there's people that don't like Justin, which I think is insane. Nice guy, I have nothing but good things to say about Justin, but he is the best, right? Like, he makes... I'm not saying that if we went, that we couldn't put together a nice video, but they're limited by time. They also don't want too many. They also won't want to have too many people handling these figures because they only have one, right? If you're messing with Gandalf and you snap an arm, like, bro, buddy, you're done.
Well,
also, like you said, Justin's reach, right? Like, our best video, might have 20,000 views, whatever. That's like 10 minutes of a video being live on Justin's channel. So I think certainly they should have incorporated the people that went out there, but to say that, there's people that went to that event that I don't think should have handled those figures, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
There's people that went to that event that shouldn't have even been let through the doors. To be honest,
but maybe you don't let them handle the figures, but maybe you give them access. That's like
access to
open the glass door.
Like that I could see. I'll give you that, John. But I don't think if we win, we should have been given Gandalf. As much as I would have loved it, I don't think I could shoot a good review like Justin.
No, but
ways that could go wrong.
You didn't necessarily have to duplicate or replicate what Justin did, but have a rep at, let's say, the Gandalf little booth there to open the glass so that when, let's say, Riley and them or Oilers was speaking about it, they could get the nice close-up shots.
100%. I think you're 100% right, John.
Have people stationed there. Like, it could have been... And what does that cost? What does that cost?
Nothing. Just to have an extra guy there. I didn't understand how there was only 2 Queen people at that whole event. That didn't make any sense. And then, I don't know, there was...
It was very
listen to Justin's with Leal stream. It was really good. I've planned events like that, and I hope that their Thailand event is better. I think going forward, I think they'll kind of know what they need to think about, like Wi-Fi and stuff for the content creators. A few different things. Equan says Queen's coverage of the event was literally 7 photos.
Hold on, so Equan's back. Let me block him. Hold on.
Jesus Christ. Doc says Justin has the most consistent format. It makes sense he was called the Bat.
Of course.
Doc says some people who went to that event left their open beverages next to figures
Ridiculous.
multiple times.
So that's the other thing. Where were I would have had Queen reps all over the place to monitor that stuff. Like, because it looks... Can you
imagine if someone walked away with a Gandalf?
It looks bad.
I would have bought it.
And screening process. Bring a screening process to those places, because God, I'll be security.
In our Thailand events, it's funny, they're calling it the long time no soiree. It's like, bro, we just soireed like a week ago. Are you kidding me? Jeez. The figures they're going to have on display for the 1/6 scale is the Joker, Gandalf the Grey, Pennywise, the Batman, and hopefully Aragorn. I hope they were able to fix what happened. Maybe don't bring figures in a suitcase.
Yeah, so on that point, so Viper was there at the event, right? At the Vegas event?
No.
Oh, okay.
The CEO was there.
So he communicated with
a gentleman
Viper
named Jason, I believe.
Okay, makes more sense.
Well, let me clarify. I don't know if Viper was there, but as far as I know, the people that went to the event said that he was not there. I don't know if he was in Vegas.
But he just made the call to pull it. Okay.
I'm not going to... I don't know. I've already gotten... kind of shit.
Sorry, I was just trying to read between the lines of John's message.
From what I understand from the people that I've talked to that were there, Jason, he's one of the Asian gentlemen that was in some of the photos. He's the CEO. And then John, who we all are very familiar with, was there as well. So I did ask if Viper was there, and I was told he wasn't. They didn't see him there. So take that with what you will. And that was from people that were there. Our main topic for tonight is discounts. And, I'm someone that likes to get things as cheap as possible, right? So, like, I have no problems with discounts per se. I like my money. I like not having to spend as much of it and to be able to get a really nice thing. But there's been some interesting things that have happened this week, and just in general, right, throughout the hobby. We always talk about these price increases, right? Things are going up with inflation, right? You're spending much more to get the same level of figure, the same amount of accessories, the same number of portraits. You're paying $50, $60, $70 more, and it doesn't feel like you're getting as much, right? And we all know, right? There are places that you can go, and we're not going to name them, but you can go and get 20% off. You're paying tax and shipping, but you're getting 20% off on anything in stock, including hot toys, statues, whatever they have in stock. There's places online where you're not getting a discount on the figure, but you're not paying tax, which is already about 8%. And you're not paying shipping, which is probably about another 10%. It's about an 18% discount. $20, $30 to ship on a $300 figure. These are all over the place, right? It's not like we've found like the honey hole, as Marco would say, and we're like, yeah, this is the place. Many, many places like this. They might not call it no tax-free shipping, but you're getting significant discount. Sideshow themselves have put some figures on discount this week. With code SPOOKY22, you can get 13% off the Mark 42 Deluxe version on the day of release. In Hong Kong, same day release in Sideshow. $645 retail price plus 13% off. Echo, which is a figure that barely shipped last week and was barely released in Hong Kong, 13% off, right? These are not insignificant discounts when you also can add rewards on top of these things. John mentioned with there was an app that you could get. I think it was $18 in rewards, right?
Yeah.
Just for a fairly simple game, right? So let's do 13%. That's $37 off plus $18. You're looking at $55 off right off the bat. In theory, if you play this game, you participate in Spooktacular, you get more rewards. And not only that, but there's really significant discounts. 25% off Mark 85, 30% off Neon-Tech War Machine. There's many, many figures. Cuervo says got Zombie Deadpool for 150 ship. People were getting the red and white clone trooper, the Coruscant Guard, 165 shipped, right? And it makes me wonder, and this is what makes me wonder, right? Hot Toys is producing these figures and then selling them to Sideshow at a cost, right? And Sideshow is selling us these figures and making a profit, or selling them to our local retail stores, also making a profit, probably less. And if they're willing to buy these figures at their cost from Hong Kong and then discount them another 25, 30% and free shipping on top, it really makes me wonder, one, is this really an inflation-based increase in price, or is there a little bit of greed involved? And two, how much are these figures really worth, right? If they're, maybe this is their cost, right? $284.90 on Neon-Tech War Machine, which I doubt. But I feel like they're still making some money on this to make it worth them storing it, to make it worth them shipping it. I don't think they're doing these out of charity. Now, obviously, with some of these newer figures, they are going on waitlist sooner. They're going on, what is it, the blue screen or whatever, where it's almost sold out.
It's in the cart.
Yeah, in the cart. Thank you, John. So maybe that's changed, but I honestly feel, for me personally, if I was to buy a Hot Toys today or tomorrow, at minimum, I'm looking at 15% off. I'm not paying retail anymore, to be honest. If I'm seeing this shit on day one, brand new fucking figures, 13% off, I ain't paying retail anymore.
Bro,
That's out the window.
That neon one you just showed was $407. How about the people that paid the $407?
But it bothers me, John, because there's people, I imagine, that had this Mark 42 paid off quarter scale, and there are people that can buy it today at 13% off. Lane last week just got the Echo. It's already 13% off, plus $18 if you play the game. It blows my mind. And not only that, but some of these companies, like I'm not going to name names, but they can be difficult if you purchase this and the next day it goes on sale. Marco, you had a great experience with Entertainment Earth. They had a post discount. I think they had a guarantee. You can get a price adjustment
like
within a certain
days.
point. Yeah, 14 days.
Oh, wow.
I've bought things, and I was lucky to have the rep adjust the price for me. But many of our Patreon members were not so lucky. They had to kind of eat their purchases. I don't want to name names, but there was a discount the next day. They asked for the discount. They said no, and they kind of had to eat the cost because the NRD was less than the discount. But I'm wondering if you guys are looking at these prices and thinking the same thing as me, or if I'm in a different multiverse. Because frankly, to me, if there's not a no shipping and a no tax type discount, in that case like 15 to 20%, I'm not touching it, to be honest. Because at some point, it's probably going to go in stock long enough that it will have a discount, and I'll be able to pick it up with rewards. But I was very shocked to see, because the thing that bothers me is, right, these two figures are brand new figures, yet the miles that's been out for about a month now at Sideshow is not discounted. So again, like Mark always says, you don't know the rules of engagement, you don't know when to pre-order, you don't know what's going to be on sale, what's not. But I think if there's something you want, wait. I think you got a discount on it, to be honest.
Zach, 100% wait right now. I'm with you, and I just wanted to tell a story about Sideshow. So I'm going to beat them up a lot of the time because I don't love all their business practices. But I did call them this week. I had one more payment left on my Tumblr. I think the shipping was around $40. Well, for Spooktacular, it went $15 shipping and 13% off. And I think, now there's an additional 15% off in-stock items you can get if you're a first responder or in the military. So like pretty much a baseline 15%. So I called them and I said, hey, can we apply these discounts to the existing order? And they said, we can't do that, but we can cancel the order and you can remake the purchase after that and apply the discounts. So shout out to them for doing that. But now that I've canceled, I'm like, you know what? It might go even lower than this. Like this might not even be the floor. Like, what am I in a hurry to reorder this item, or should I keep waiting? So called back and I had the Sub-Zero and Scorpion for oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the Storm collectibles. Yeah, the Mortal Kombat Storm collectibles. Had both of those on pre-order, paid full price, had a few discount, and I said, hey, you know what? Can I apply this 15%? And they said, well, we can cancel and you can go ahead and make the order again. So at this point, I'm just kind of sitting back, and there's the figures like the Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse, Boba on Throne, a few others that I want, but it's like, what is their floor? Like, I'm just going to wait till the last possible second.
Wait till Black Friday, bro.
Apparently,
25 days, bro.
Rumor is Black Friday is the biggest, where they give you the biggest sales.
Especially this year with seeing how much stock they must be desperate to get rid of. And to Zach's point, last thing I'll say is just like, was there greed involved in all these price hikes? It certainly feels that way, because if they can really knock out this amount of discounts, maybe they are really desperate to get rid of them, but maybe there was that big of a margin where like, oh, we can still, even if we cut it to 30%, we're still making a minor cut. So it makes you feel just kind of like, man, yeah, what are these things really worth? Because they couldn't possibly, even after the license and manufacturing and shipping, couldn't possibly be as expensive as they're marking them up, and kind of makes you reevaluate your entire collecting, to be honest. But a good time for someone who likes deals like myself.
If I could just add, just briefly, I know I've talked a lot. The thing that bothers me is like, this isn't just like a spooktacular thing, right? Every day there's shit going on sale on their website. Every fucking day I'm getting a new email. This is on sale. There was a James Dean figures like 40% off today. It's insane how much they discount, and it pisses me off, to be honest, because their stores, I don't go to Alien Worlds that often, Dean, but I imagine they ordered probably an Echo and maybe a Mark 42. They're stuck to these retail price points, the 645, the 285. They can't discount, right? They can't knock 13% off. They're stuck to an agreement that we've heard from many retailers. They have to they cannot discount past a certain point. They certainly can't beat Sideshow's prices, or it's in violation of this agreement. So, sorry, Dean, I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, there's definitely an initial cost on these figures, right? They got to pay somebody to sculpt. That's usually several tens of thousands of dollars for a head sculpt, right? From a very good artist. Paying someone to tailor the outfits and make the molds and stuff like that. So yeah, it probably cost them, anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 to initially create a figure, right? But in terms of plastic injecting, getting these materials cut and painted up, I mean, it probably cost them, I don't know, $10 or $15 to make a figure per figure. Plastic is cheap as shit. Those bodies that you could get on eBay, which are essentially the exact same fucking thing. Maybe the build quality is a little not as great, but essentially the same thing, are what, $12 sometimes? It only costs them maybe $1 to make. Maybe. In parts and labor, right? So there's definitely a greed thing going on where it's like the cost, even in the world economy right now, there's no way per figure it costs them more to make a figure today than it did, 10 years ago.
And times were just too good during the recession, during the pandemic, where everyone's kind of paying top dollar on everything.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, and now they have this excuse, right? It's like, oh, things are just more expensive now. Like, I bet you when you get into the minutia of everything, it's really not much more expensive. So there's definitely, I mean, it'd be naive to say it's not a greed thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I get it. You're paying for a more premium product, right? If you compare it to, let's just say, a Marvel Legend, yeah, it probably costs a lot more to make a hot toy than a Marvel Legend, but not by a whole fuck ton of money where it justifies spending $645 on this figure and then they're discounting it, until they could get rid of them. There's just no way.
I want to clarify. Oh, please, Ben, go ahead.
Sam Giss says, let's not get on Sideshow for giving many people some deals. That's life. Go ahead, Zach, and then I'll...
Yeah, no, sorry. I just want to clarify. My issue isn't getting deals. Again, I fucking love paying as little as possible to get a thing that, I could have paid as much as possible. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, when should you buy a figure, right? Should you buy it at full price? Should you pre-order it? Should you wait for a deal? And I've said, I think for me personally, I'm not really touching the shit unless it's 15% off, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. And I've seen places even go as high as 20%. But, bro, I ain't paying retail anymore. I'll tell you that much. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. Sorry, Ben.
So I think there is definitely sales psychology built into this strategy. You teach people and you condition them for the sales that you're hoping to make. When I ran a paint store, we had a computer system that was solely dedicated to tracking slow-moving inventory. It's just the way it goes. And things that you might just think are popular, because you're like, I like that character, that's obviously that totally sells, right? May not, based on actual sales numbers. Now, the interesting thing about discounts like this and the way kind of psychology kind of messes with people sometimes, because it happened to me this week. I bought that Deadpool for $120, even though I talked myself out of it for years. Why? Because I got a deal. In this sense, if you can get a figure right now for a 30% discount, you're back on their website. Then you're looking at, well, I saved 30% here, so maybe I can get a second figure. And then, boom, you've actually bought two figures from them. You're spending a little bit more money. And now you got rewards points, so now you're going to apply that to another one. And the cycle continues. The other thing,
work that hard, Ben.
Well, the other thing that I think is interesting is, we've got anywhere from, 140 to 150 pre-orders of Hot Toys. That's a lot of 6 scale. That's going to take up a crazy amount of real estate. So I think we're starting to see a shift here. I think we're going to see over the next couple months deep discounts. I think they're going to absolutely annihilate as much stock as humanly freaking possible and get as much money back for that investment as they can with deals. And again, some of that psychology of buying more for less and those things. But then I think we're in 2023. This is just my guess. We're going to start seeing the shift to what we've started already seeing, which is these out of stock items before we even get an in-house version. They're starting to condition us with that already. They're conditioning us with that with figures like Goblin and Peacemaker and franchises that have been relatively popular and a handful of ones that maybe aren't. So it leaves us questioning if that is their strategy or maybe people are really buying all of these. The problem is that once they sell all the shit that's just sitting and collecting dust, they now have the space for the 140 characters that may come over the next 2 years. And I think that they're already proving that psychologically, as long as they stamp that low stock sign on their orders starting to go forward, people will start paying again full price in order to lock them in.
And we've talked about that before too.
Yeah, but with that, I think that's where it falls on not necessarily streamers, but as a community, you need to be careful, right? Just because they're slapping a low stock on it, if the figure's not out yet and they're slapping a low stock on it, be careful, because just because it's saying low stock, when that baby pops up in stock, or let's say when it does come out, the scheduled release date, those can magically pop out to be in stock again. So I we're in a tough situation because do we take the risk to find out if they're playing a game with us, or do we just order it?
I think they're conditioning us, as I said. They're giving us the discounts now to clear their stock so they can condition us into buying pre-orders moving forward on low stock alerts. I think that's just the shift that we're going to end up seeing. And John, you're 100% right. For any new collectors that are maybe listening, like, we've all seen it many times in the past where you get on a wait list and boom, it converts like that. And you're like, whoa, wow, did I get lucky? That happened to me with Peacemaker last week. I put myself on the wait list. I got converted. I was happy about it, but I also then immediately put in our chat, that's how they get you though, right? And then it still makes you really decide whether you need it or not. I think the point going forward either way is going to be whether or not they give you discounts or not. Don't buy based on FOMO. Don't buy based on the low stock alert. Don't buy because you think something might be a grail and it might not, and it's hard to know and nobody really knows and all the things. Buy it because you actually want it in your collection. Because then if you spend full price and it never goes discount, whatever, great. And it'll probably gain value slowly over the next decade. And if it goes down, well, then you might have lost some money, but at least you got the figure in your collection. Because what I heard from you, Marco, is that on that Tumblr, you might actually be deciding maybe I don't actually even really need it. Maybe I just bought it because I really was... Yeah, I was really hyped about it at the time, and now it's going discount. Do I really want to pay full price? It's not that you wouldn't want a great-ass tumbler in your collection, but maybe you don't totally need it if you're going to take a financial hit on it. And that's tricky advice to give people for sure.
That's where it's at, Ben. Absolutely.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, if things go back, you're going to see, you're really going to step back into a time machine and see how Hot Toys was originally and how people would buy... to flip and to make money and this and that, you're really going to see and it has to be because it's not sustainable. People were saying that Hot Toys, they can make, someone said make less. If Hot Toys makes less figures, they're not selling as many, but they're making more figures. Sideshow's buying them up, but Sideshow doesn't want to be losing money either. They can't in my opinion, they can't continue the way they're going with everything just almost half off.
Agree.
No, but like I was saying, it kind of what goes back to what Zach was saying is how low can the prices actually get before they are taking a hit? I'll give you a perfect example. My sister worked at a big box electronics store. Some places aren't as good as this one, right? It might be the best place to buy, right? I won't say the name. And
like if there was a lot of options, this might be the best play. Okay.
Yeah,
I know those fuckers are greedy for sure.
Right. And she got an employee discount. And the employee discount was as low as they could get it and still make a little bit of money. I needed some RCA cables for my DJing stuff. And the very nice cables were $70. And I was like, well, I really want these. Like, how much is it with your discount? And she's like, oh, let's see. We rang them up. It was like $3. So that company is still making money selling it to me at $3 because everybody else is paying $70. So the price to make things is really not that high. It's just... we make it and you don't, you got to pay us for it. So the price for them to sell these things that, let's just say Hot Toys makes it for, like I said, it was like $10 a figure, right? But I'm just making that number up, but let's just say that's what it costs. It's probably not far off. They sell it to Sideshow. Let's just say it's something fucking stupid like $50 a figure. They're making $40 per figure, right? They're selling it to everybody around the world for $40 a figure. Then those places are selling it. Well, we need to make some money, so we're going to sell it now to the next guy for $400. So they could keep discounting it over and over and over and over. And it'll get so cheap that they'll just run out before they ever even get close to not being able to make a profit on it. It's like, we'll run out before we ever discount it enough to lose money. So I think Marco is 100% right. Let me see how fucking low this thing actually gets before I pull the trigger. Because and you have the benefit this time around. This is not the first tumbler. This is the reissue. Now there's fucking tumblers everywhere.
And
that
there'll be more
gonna
Batmobiles too.
Yeah, they'll probably still have stock of this tumbler by the time they make 3.0 reissue.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
And it's also a huge fucking box too, so they're gonna be itching to get this bitch out the door.
Yeah. I think we're at a time where people are starting to kind of fucking wake up and be like Zach, I'm not touching this at retail.
Nobody's waking up if they're supporting reissues.
Yeah. Well, and I think Carlos had talked about this on Will Fox Vacations channel a long time ago. He's like, we're just going to keep seeing discounts and discounts and discounts and discounts. He's like, wait till Black Friday and look where we're at. It's next month and we're already seeing it, and it's only going to get deeper and deeper with the discounts. So hold your fucking money, boys.
Yeah, completely agree. And yes, if you're, kind of waiting on the deep discount, like I think Sean was saying, Usby was saying in the chat, maybe you miss out on a figure. So if it's something that you absolutely can't live without, and there's probably very few of those, then, pre-order with someone where you're not paying shipping and tax right off the bat. If you really need to lock in that pre-order, that's what I've done for a few of the figures. But even then, I feel dumb even doing so because who knows where the future's going. And let me paint another picture because we all think like, oh, things will be corrected in 23.
Da Vinci? What the fuck?
What was that? Oh, paint a picture. Nice. All right. I was like, what the heck? Okay, let's say we're in a recession. We're heading into a recession. There were a bunch of collectors that entered during the pandemic. That pool shrinks. Yes, they're making less stock, but there's less demand for these really, really high-end figures. And so these things may still end up sitting, even if they're making lower runs. We still may see Hot Toys sitting in just like less demand overall. So it's really hard to say where the market's going, but it doesn't seem to be trending in an especially positive direction. So you got to be in it for the love of the characters and for the love of the hobby and not to make any money.
I think this is a really crucial time for collectors because John has been saying this for, since he's been on the network, that it's like, well, I'll just buy a statue instead. These prices are getting so crazy, I'll just buy a statue. And now we're looking at, what was the Goblin? $394 before shipping and tax? That's a statue.
It's a 6-scale statue.
Yeah. Or a very cheap quarter scale statue. I've seen some around, $500 shipped, right? So it's like, when's enough going to be enough? Where it's like you need to really figure out how to market your shit better or bring the price down. Because, why even keep paying not only retail but in general?
I think your points just quickly. I think your points, Marco, were good. One thing. I don't think it's wrong to want, not to want. I don't think it's wrong. To want a collectible that you buy to appreciate in value.
No doubt about it. I wasn't saying that was wrong. I was just saying this particular time and this particular figure format.
You have to be careful.
It doesn't seem like that's the reason
that's what's
to be
happening.
in this hobby. Yeah.
So
I'm not saying if you were in the past that you're wrong, or if you are in the future you are, but it feels like right now it's not the time to get into it for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's move on here. I think all excellent topics here. I want to talk about gaslighting because I feel like it's real bad in our hobby, and gaslighting can be quite an abusive thing. Ours probably isn't like as bad as what like it really could be. So I want to preface this discussion with that.
Zach,
a form of
gaslighter
of emotional manipulation that often results in the recipient doubting their perception of reality and their sanity. You see it, I think, a lot with collecting. Right, a new figure comes out, everyone's quick to jump on the new is best bandwagon. You go on to websites, and it's 2 a.m. and there's 198 people are looking at this figure now, and it's like, well, are they? You get this sort of like fear, right? Like, oh my God, this thing's on low stock. Is it really on low stock? And even like companies, right? Hot Toys, I think we were all very satisfied with the first Mando figures, and they dropped the new one, and they put these photos of like, hey, look how much better this new version is, right? Your old one sucks, bro. You should pre-order this new one. And I feel like it kind of gets into people's heads. I see new collectors all the time join these groups, and they might feel, well, my collection's not that good. I'm afraid to share it. We hear all the time people come to us and say, like, you know, I like your channel. It's kind of, you could be a beginner. You can listen to Collecting Weekly and enjoy it. You can be an expert and get that same enjoyment. But I feel like our hobby, it's real bad. I feel like I see a lot of people that kind of get scared away from it, from some of the behavior of other people in the hobby. And I'm curious if you guys have noticed that as well, or maybe that's just a me thing.
I noticed that earlier today when I was like, hey, the movie of the week was this, right? And you were like, no, it was this.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Dean.
what? I told you, Zach is a fucking gaslighter.
It was like we were at gas
bro.
and there was some light right on me.
And then he encouraged the rest of us to join in. That was
I did.
Yeah,
actually.
Zach is toxic as shit.
Zach, bro, I've never said I'm a good person. I've always said I'm not a good person. You
Zach,
can go
that
back and
is
listen to
true.
the tape.
That is true. You have always said that.
He also gaslit the pre what do you call it? Oh fuck, the joke is ruined.
Jesus Christ.
Wait,
what?
Let's rewind. Start it over. Zach also gaslit the pre-stream with the chili he ate for lunch.
Oh, there you go. Dude, I had chili last night. It was...
I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, I think all the points you brought up were really good about the... And Ben even mentioned it a minute ago. The low stock alert. It's going on low stock. You got to get it now because 500 people have this in their cart. Or they're looking at it, whatever. Because I go on some sites where it's like, 6 people have this in their cart. And it's like, fuck, I should get it. And it's like, is it real or are they fucking with me? And I think that's a really good example you brought up, Zach. Yeah, it's, and it makes people make decisions that they necessarily wouldn't do. Like the whole the thing with the 3 windows. It's like, I stressed over this fucking thing for days, sold something I necessarily didn't have to just so I could make this purchase, and then you just fucking open it back up. It's fucking bullshit.
And on October 25th, you can get that same figure for the same exact price.
Or 30% off with fucking Spooktober. It's like, God
Rob
damn.
says, starting to wonder about some of the things you say, Ox, do you feel okay? And people who live in glass houses, I don't know what that second one means, but no, I don't feel okay. Anyways, yeah, I think it's bad in our hobby. I think, you know, there's just so many things that I see that, you know, maybe it's not the best hobby to get into if, you know, if you're not willing to kind of have to deal with some of that BS, because there's a lot of shit, to be honest, that we notice.
So I was just giving Sideshow props. You know, their customer service, always top notch for me personally. Well, you know, a few spotty occasions, but for the most part, really top notch. Their marketing, on the other hand, is like very predatory, and we've talked about it here before. Recently, I had a figure in the cart. I took it out, and then they send emails now saying, this isn't going to last for long. Order it now. It's like, okay, they're chasing you after you've... And I know they're not alone on that, but that definitely felt like gaslighting, because like, wait, is it actually going to sell out? And then you go back like, oh, no, not even close. It's not blue screen. There's no minimums. It's just a predatory tactic.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, yeah.
Don't forget to buy this thing you put in your cart.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That happened.
I guess we forgot to put on the show sheet. Sideshow's creating FOMO for this new Captain American announcement, limited to 300. Yeah, sign up.
I mean, that's literally how I got roped into buying this Krillin. Now, again, I had points, but I had it in my cart because I was trying to see how much it would cost me after points. And it was like $56. I was like, it's not worth it. And then like I got an email. I was like, you have this thing in your cart. Don't forget to buy it. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I click on it and it was like, like I said, it was like 5 or 10% off. And I was like, oh shit, there's an additional fucking thing. And so I got for 40. But yeah, it's like that whole predatory kind of.
You should have bought 2.
No, this thing's been in stock all year, dude.
And on that Captain America, that Captain America figure, I'm still unclear whether it's 300 pieces with a bonus accessory, and then once it sells out, it's done, or 300 pieces with a bonus accessory and then more figures on top of that. It's not super clear, and the latter, I would not be shocked if that was the case.
Oh, kind of like we see with the like convention ones.
Oh, you're
I
saying
think it's 300 300 pieces.
Where it's like eventually
that.
it'll show up on Sideshow like 3 months later.
I
And
can't
it's like,
rule
what
it
the
out.
fuck? Yeah.
Look at this. We got a bunch of people tuning in. It
Honestly,
is time, boys.
I was just gonna say this one last thing. The more and more this show goes on, the more and more I'm like, John's not as fucking crazy as I thought he was. Like everything John pointed out, like eventually, like it pops up later. I'm like, God damn, he was.
We agreed not to tell him that, guys. Come on.
We were gaslighting him, guys.
We literally were gaslighting him. Come on.
It's okay.
All right, boys. It's time for hot seat.
Oh,
Oxford.
nerve-wracking. Fuck.
John in the lead with 7 points, 700. Whatever. It's Jeopardy. All right, now what I want everyone to do.
I put my phone right here. You can see it.
Yeah, I'm hidden.
Yeah, I want everyone to mute except for John. And John is going to pick a question, 1 through 4. 5 is the final Jeopardy.
Okay.
And if he gets it wrong, immediately you guys will have a chance to unmute and say your name to answer that question. And if you get it wrong, you will also lose those points. Or if you get it right, you'll gain those points. We'll then go in order. So John will get first pick, and then Marco and Ben, you guys can figure out who wants to get second pick, third, then fourth, Dean. Are you guys ready for hot seat?
Ladies first.
Also, people in the chat, for the love of God, have some damn respect and don't put the answers in the chat. And I would encourage people on the panel, in the interest of fair play, to switch over to private chat, please.
I'm in private chat.
What a fucking guy.
I am also
yeah,
in
so
private chat.
switch over to private chat, please. Get your mics muted. John has the first pick, and we got 30 seconds to answer the question after it is read.
This is like strategic now. How do you gotta be strategic with this shit?
7 points. And remember, there is a final Jeopardy at the end, so Oxfordy, rather.
Oh, there is a final Jeopardy. Shit, I forgot about that. Give me a 100.
Give me a 100. What character is represented by MMS01?
MMS is Movie Masterpiece 01? How the fuck am I supposed to remember that?
And I just need an answer. You don't have to use it as a form of a question.
MMS 001. Oh my god, Movie Masterpiece. Movie Masterpiece 001. I want to. The first thing that came to my head, Superman.
Final answer?
Final.
That is incorrect.
Shit.
Would anyone like to steal this point?
Are you looking for the movie specifically, or just the character?
What character?
Oh.
Does anyone want a chance to steal?
That was my guess.
You said we lose 100 points if
you
we get it wrong.
You lose
though?
a point. Yeah, you'll lose a point if you get it wrong, but you could gain a point. I'm going to give you guys about 10 more seconds to decide.
I don't know if it was a movie
5,
masterpiece series.
4, 3,
Marco.
2. Marco.
Who is Terminator?
That is incorrect.
Ben.
And we will... Okay, Ben.
Who is Tom Cruise from Top Gun? Forget what the name of the character
That is
was.
incorrect. Jeez, this is the 1 point question.
That was a
It's
hard...
Kyle Reese.
That was a hard question for 100, buddy. Jesus Christ.
That was a hard question.
That was not that hard of a question.
That was pretty hard for 100.
Yeah, I thought it was Superman.
Marco
I thought it was Superman. Yeah.
Marco or Ben, who would like to go next?
Well,
Marco, go.
depends if Ben thinks I'm a lady. So let's go Hot Toys and let's
Small
go.
spoon.
Ben, mute for now, just so you can chime in if you need to.
So let's go for 400.
Wow, 400. Marco, what was the name of the line of unlicensed figures Hot Toys produced during 1999 to 2000? Oh, hang on, let me start that over. There we go.
I know this one too.
It's on all the boxes.
Yeah. Ah, boy. Dang. It's on the tip of my tongue. Okay, so I'm going to go with, I think this is incorrect, but true type figure.
That is incorrect. Marco is at 0 points. Actually, I don't know if you can do negative points.
Had to go big.
Ben.
Is it the secret agent line
That is incorrect.
from Mission Impossible? No.
That is incorrect.
If I guess and I'm wrong, do I get negative points?
I guess that's what it's going negative. So
I don't want negative points. So
okay, we'll call it there. John, do you want to take a chance at this or no? No.
wait, hold on, wait.
You missed it. Hot Toys famous types.
Oh,
was the
okay.
answer
I was
for
wrong.
400 points.
These questions
I
are
was
fucking
close.
ridiculous.
I was close.
I worked all day
Famous
on these
type.
questions.
Your
These
question.
questions
You're
are
worse
great.
than Alex Trebek. God rest
Exactly.
his
That was a
soul.
good one. We should have known
These
that
questions
one.
are great. Okay, Ben.
Okay, well I need to get myself out of the hole. So whatever's the most points question.
Actually, hang on. Dean has a point here. Dean's technically winning over you at this point. So Dean, you get the next question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Nope, that's fine.
Oh, okay. I'll take for 300.
300. 300. Name 2 of the 3 first figures released by Hot Toys in the years 1999 to 2000. I'm going to play a sound clip real quick, just so I can start the timer again, and it's good to go.
Okay, Kyle Reese and Superman, yeah.
That is incorrect.
No,
John.
Okay, John.
How many seconds do I get?
Let me restart the timer for you.
Oh fuck. Okay, I don't want to go. Never mind. Skip.
Well, no,
never
you
mind.
already win.
No, skip. Never mind.
You already win.
No,
yeah, you
forget
already
it.
Said it. Because in Jeopardy, when you buzz in, you have to answer right away. You don't
lose
get
the
a second.
points.
You got a few seconds.
How many
John.
seconds left?
The clock's been going. So you probably got about 12 seconds left.
Okay, the George Lucas and from Matrix. The Tom Cruise. Never mind. The Tom Cruise.
Oh, John, you got half of that right. Does anyone want to chance a guess at this one? No? Okay. The correct answer, the 3 answers you could have given were Ethan Hunt, Neo. So you almost were correct. You had it at the tip of your tongue, and George Lucas.
But was it Neo or was it actually supposed to be Tom Cruise? Figure.
No, Ethan Hunt was Tom Cruise.
Oh, so I had to say
Ethan Hunt was from Mission Impossible.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had to say Ethan Hunt. All right.
Okay. Ben for 200, and you would be up against John for Final Jeopardy if you get this right.
I mean, I'll try.
For 200
I'll do
points.
it. I'm game.
The abbreviation of PERS, spelled P-E-R-S, stands for what?
Shit, it's on the tip of my tongue too. It's the rolling eye system, obviously.
Yes.
Shit. Perception. No. I don't know. Perception eye rolling system.
That is incorrect. Ben, does anyone want a chance to steal?
Dean?
To get back on the board. Dean.
Posable eyes rolling system?
That is incorrect. Take another shot.
Marco, I'm going to go for it.
Marco.
Per eye rolling system.
Wait, per eye rolling system? Do you want to expand on that?
No, there's no expanding on that.
No,
Jeopardy
that was
would
it.
not
That
expand.
was
I
all.
thought he would have meant. I thought
Okay,
maybe you
John,
were
do you
right.
want to take a go?
No, I'm not taking a go on this. Nope.
Parallel eyeball rolling system.
Parallel. Fuck me.
You almost had it, Marco.
Almost.
Posable makes sense, but
Yeah. Let's see what the chat
Those were
says
some
here.
hard questions, though. Honestly, those were fucking
It was
hard.
fun. I
It was
worked
fun.
out there on these questions. Here we go. Let's
Appreciate the
check in with the
questions, bro.
chat.
We learned
yeah,
some stuff
so,
today.
Can we gaslight panel members with incorrect answers? Let's see here. I think they said they were too tough. I thought these were pretty fair.
They were tough.
those are fucking hard, bro. The first one was fair, but the other ones were hard.
Jazzy said, I just Googled it. No way I would have guessed that. Dude, I've researched all day. I was like checking sources and shit. Yeah, Kyle Reese. That one is easier than the 100 question. I guess about the the George Lucas one, I think.
Wait, so we didn't get to do the 500?
You know what? Everyone get their pen and paper. Let's go 500. That's fun. Let's do that. That's fun. Here
Let's
we go.
go.
Let's do it.
For 500 points, I don't need a.
What's the score here? So how would it work?
So if you get it right, you will win. If you don't get it wrong, or if you get it wrong rather, and they get it right, you may lose.
But who do I have to? If I just don't even guess, who do I have to worry about? Dean?
Yeah. So you could bet. I'll give you the chance to just not answer.
Okay, cool.
I guess. If
Okay,
you like.
cool. Let's just. Do
But
it.
you
Let's
have to.
fun.
You have to. Do you want to? Oh, I guess yeah. Yeah. During you can
Just
decide
put
not
0.
to answer.
Yeah.
If I get it right, yeah, I'll tie you.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
Okay. Has everyone got their pen and paper ready? Remember, this is like everyone can guess at the same time. John, do you got a
Yeah, I
paper
got everything ready. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. This was a hard question, to be honest. This one I actually, and I will take variations of the answer, by the way, because there's a lot of words on this box.
Oh my god! If you think this one's hard, we're in for
In
it.
2006, Hot Toys produced a pair of pilot figures loosely based on Top Gun. What was the name given to the figure meant to represent Lieutenant Pete Mitchell and featured a head sculpt of Tom Cruise? Let me play a sound real quick. You guys will have 30 seconds to write your answers down. And again, if you're close, I may give it to you if you're close, because there's a lot of words on that box.
Easy one. I'm locked in.
Wow.
I'm definitely wrong. Definitely wrong.
All right. Dean the Dream Martin, show me what you got on your paper.
I put Pete Davidson.
Jesus Christ.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Ben Thomas.
I put
Which pixel is your paper?
Jesus Christ.
I think we lost Ben. Wait, hang on.
I think he did that on purpose.
What did you put?
Top agent. Top agent.
What is with you and agents?
Are you guys messing with me right now, or am I glitching
Wait, but
out?
how much you wagering? First, you got to say how much
No,
you're
I was
wagering.
just gonna give them 500 points if they got it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Good luck.
Marco, what is your answer?
The Aviator.
I'm gonna hold that for review because I gotta check the box. John, did you decide not to?
Zippo. I have no idea.
Okay, Marco, I'm gonna check the. Well, I guess technically, if you got it right, you would still lose. But I think I'm gonna accept that one, to be honest. The name on the box. So I'm gonna give you that one. You'll be at 200 points. The name on the box is F-14 Tomcat Aviator, the Skyfighter U.S. aircrew.
Yeah, I'd give that to him because that's hard enough as it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
insane.
I gotta say that's pretty good, Marco.
Good job, buddy.
Good job,
You'll
Marco.
love to see it.
Dang,
John
right.
wins
Aviator
the
agent.
$20 bonus, and next show he will get 1 minute to.
Wait.
Oh shit.
F-14
To talk about whatever I want?
Aviator, Skyfighter, U.S. aircrew. That's 4, so he only gets 1 point.
Well, I did say I would accept variations. Okay, so apparently, here we go. Equan says my med school exams are easier than these
Jesus
questions.
Christ.
If no one got anything right, it means the questions were okay. I will.
Zach,
I'll
yeah,
go back to the
100
drawing board. I'll go back to the drawing board, boys. But
The
I will
first
say,
three are
I
supposed
bet
to
you if
be
you
a
ask Howard,
softball.
Howard wouldn't even know the answers to these questions.
these are pretty. The first 3 are easy, I think. I've known what PERS is like the entire time
The
I've been a
PERS one I
collector.
should've got.
And MMS 01 Kyle Reese, like I said that a few shows ago, so that shouldn't be that difficult. Now the 3-point, 2 of the first 3, everyone knows it's George Lucas is one of the first.
And
3.
I said Neo.
And
Always stick with your gut. Fuck.
Everyone knows Neo because when
You
they
said
re-released.
you said The Matrix, and you're like, nah, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid.
Yeah, you should have gone with the Matrix.
No, you know why? Because someone said Tom Cruise figure earlier on, and it threw me off. We were talking about another question.
No, I like the questions. Like, obviously they were very hard, but it's cool that like we kind of learned a few things. Some of these things I vaguely knew, and the audience can learn some things. So I thought it was awesome.
You know what I learned?
I will say
Ice
this.
rock.
Next month, I will make the questions easier, if that's what you guys would like.
Marco's answer.
What's going on,
was
Jeff?
hilarious.
But I'm still gonna keep I'm still gonna keep maybe the 500 and the 400 a little bit difficult.
30 seconds to talk about whatever I want. That's dangerous.
A minute.
A minute. Oh,
a
boy,
minute.
that's
I'm
lethal.
doubling. 60 seconds with John.
Whatever.
Live,
No bars. No
bars.
nothing.
And after
I'm
that,
coming
we'll
for you.
discuss it. But you fucking just don't go on like a Kanye rant. It'll be good.
Star Trek.
Jeez.
Whoa. Oy vey, dude. Chill out with that.
Go on. Hocus Pocus. After moving to Salem, Massachusetts, teenager Max Dennison explores an abandoned house with his sister Danny and their new friend Allison. After dismissing a story Allison tells is superstitious, Max accidentally frees a coven of evil witches who used to live in the house. Now, with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from becoming immortal. Actually, I will say, Usby, to this point, give people a heads up what to study. I did tell people to study Hot Toys history, and
that helped.
That was and also innovations that they've made. So to be fair, I did give them heads up. Sam says these are the questions that killed Alex Trebek.
Jeez.
I will be completely honest.
He dead?
He is dead.
Oh.
I will be completely honest. I tried like 3 times to finish this movie and I could not do it. I'm gonna pull my once a year card of I couldn't finish the movie of the week. This movie fucking sucks.
What?
I don't understand. Like, I know people in my family that have like watch parties of this film. Friends that like invite people over to watch this film. This film was like nigh unwatchable for me. I did not enjoy it. I've heard the second one is supposed to be better, for what that's worth, but I tried and maybe because it's been built up to be like this amazing classic, like iconic film, I just thought, like Cuervo said, I thought it was overrated. I didn't think it was particularly good. Also, one of my bosses used to call me Zachary Binks, and I thought it was from Jar Jar Binks, but I guess it's from this movie because I think one of the characters is like Thackeray Binks.
The cat.
Yeah, the cat.
Yeah.
And I
It's funny.
I now realize that, and I fucking hate that nickname even more. So,
I'm with you, Zach. This movie didn't particular because I'd never seen it before, so I was pretty excited, especially because the sequel's out.
It's because you watched Creepshow too.
A couple things got me going through this movie.
Sarah Jessica Parker has never looked better.
Bro, that was my second point. Shut the fuck up. Let me get there.
Leave some meat on the bone.
I love a talking cat, dude. The second there's a talking cat in something, I'm all in. 2, Sarah Jessica Parker, goth babe, I'm all for it. I was never really a particular fan of her, like during Sex and the City and stuff like that. But goddamn, she bad in this movie. So I didn't mind when she was on screen. A lot of why does everybody know this kid is a virgin? Like everybody brings it up like throughout the fucking movie. Like, goddamn, like chill out.
So you lit the candle.
But even like I think it's like the fucking mayor at the end of the movie fucking brings it. It's like, God, what the fuck? Like,
okay, well, don't spoil the end. Jesus.
A lot of virginating in this movie. But also the witches aren't particularly like funny. They don't ever like add like a joke or anything. They're not, when they're on screen, they're fucking, I mean, they're on screen, they're going all out, right? Like they look like they're having fun, which I guess is kind of what's the word, like when someone else is laughing, you can't help but laugh.
Contagious.
Infectious.
Contagious, right? Yeah. And so like it's not a bad movie. Like you could tell everyone involved is like having fun, but like it's just not a great movie. But I will say I can see why people get together during Halloween and watch it. It's a very Halloween-y movie. I get it, but to me, it's not winning any awards. The fact that it even got a sequel is kind of crazy. I mean, it's been like 40 years, but
dude, every year I would see like, you know, you see like those fake, fake Marvel posters like, Iron Man 4, and it's like the shitty Photoshop of like some shit.
Yeah.
For some reason, I would always see those for the sequel that I guess became, and I think that's probably why people like really got excited anytime one of those would pop up.
It's like Jeff Moore says, Dean. It takes the virgin to be able to light the black flame candle. That's how they all know.
No. Okay.
That's
so
how the mayor
everybody
knows and everything.
Okay. Yeah, because like the whole fucking movie, even before he lit the flame, it was like, oh, let's make fun of the virgin.
This is my
Dean
first
lit that
time.
candle, we'd be right.
No, bro, I have an illegitimate son. We all know that.
That is true.
This is my first time watching this as well.
Really?
I enjoyed it, to be honest. I don't think it was bad at all. I think Bette Midler killed it, the acting. I think she did a phenomenal job. First thing that came to mind when I started seeing them interacting together, the witches, Three Stooges.
That's fair.
That's actually a really good, that's a really good parallel.
That's the vibes I got. Brought me back to Three Stooges. It was a good movie. It was like Turn Your Brain Off, 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, 38% Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know how how appropriate it is for kids, talking about virgins and yaboos and shit like that. As I say, half this panel has yaboos, but
The Rock of Who?
Yeah, if you watch the movie, you know. See, nobody watched the movie. Fucking fake.
Well, I'm sorry you just insulted half of
My neck's
I
showing.
was stuck on that. I was like, what?
My neck's showing. Jesus Christ. But no, I heard the second one was not very good. I enjoyed it. I think the acting was okay. I think Bette Midler, like I said, did a great job. I like the scene with the cop where they run up to the cop and then the guy's like, I sacrificed my life for this job. Get out of my face. And then he leaves. He's not even a cop. It was a guy dressed in a Halloween costume. I like that. That was cool. It was funny. But yeah, it's kind of like a one and done for me sort of movie. I don't know if I'd watch it again.
Yeah, it's not a particularly great movie, but like there's a lot of nostalgia for myself. I think this and Casper were kind of like, all right, you know, like kid horror movies that aren't particularly scary, but there's horror aspects. So yeah, I think it's a fine movie. It doesn't necessarily hold up, but when we're talking about Sarah Jessica Parker, it reminds me of another anomaly of another actress that I don't think is particularly attractive, but in one movie she's killer. And so Sarah Jessica Parker in this, hot. Cameron Diaz in The Mask. I was never a big Cameron Diaz fan, but in The Mask she is just smoking. So okay, I've gone on a tangent here.
Was that a pun?
Literally.
Smoking.
No, I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, there it was. But yeah, no, I think overall, like it's, the dynamic amongst the witches. I think the Three Stooges is something I never thought about, but that's a really good one, John. And overall, so Gigi has yet to see this. We're actually going to watch it like on a lawn somewhere on Thursday. They're doing like an outdoor movie night, so that'll be her first time watching. Yeah, and so we'll get her thoughts. But yeah, I think it's like watchable. It's just a cute little movie, and yeah, there is some inappropriate '90s stuff, but yeah, that was kind of par for the course for kids movies back then.
I've probably watched this movie every year since I was a kid. Like honestly, just at Halloween, it's just one that just kind of gets put on in the background. So like I've seen it so many times I can quote it. This is the first time ever I've actually looked up the cast names and the character names of the cast. So back to your point, Zach, I actually always thought the cat's name was Zachary Binks. I didn't realize it's Thackeray Binks. I thought the kid has a lisp. So not the case. Always thought the cat was cool. I'm with Dean. I like talking animals, especially as a kid. Homeward Bound back in the day, and like Sabrina the Teenage Witch with her black cat, and like again showing my age probably. But I always thought Billy Butcherson was a really cool character. Like the zombie come to life, who's actually kind of a good zombie, and he actually helps. I thought that was a fun plot point. I also really liked the music in the film. When they're in the dance hall with all the parents, that's a banger that they put out there. I Put a Spell on You, and they've done lots of remakes of that song over time. So I thought that was kind of just fun. But I agree with you guys. I don't think as an adult, if I watch this for the first time, I would like it nearly as much as I do just based on the nostalgia vibes that I get when I have it on in the background and sing along to the songs a bit and kind of think it's just funny. I loved I always loved the devil, when they see the guy in the devil costume and then
Yeah.
father, and then that whole situation, and he starts getting a little friendly with him and his wife is all pissed about it. Like, it's just funny stuff, right? I have zero desire though to see Hocus Pocus 2. Zero desire. I've heard it's garbage, and if it's garbage in comparison to this one, then I'm like, nope, don't want to see it. I will just keep this one in mind. I still think we should have watched Mars Attacks, but I get it wasn't a Halloween film, so way she goes.
What should we watch for our last Halloween movie? Actually,
can I put
no? Actually, hang on. Let me check. We're
Anything
on the
but
first.
Mars Attacks for sure.
Yeah, Ben, what are we thinking here? I'll give you the choice.
Okay, so I guess we just have to see if it's available in Canada for streaming or in the States. I've never seen The Crow. And
Ooh,
the new Crow figure that's out on Sideshow. But I also love superheroes, and people tell me it's kind of the inception of superhero-esque style movie making. I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about at all.
In the U.S.
Thank God.
But if someone wants to get me actually, maybe I might be able to use Mark's Hulu. Mark, let me know, bro.
It's not in Canada
could be
either.
done. Oh, it's not streaming in Canada.
Okay.
Let me check.
Give me a second choice, Ben.
Shit.
Mars Attacks.
I mean, I'd be down to watch Mars Attacks if you guys are, but
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with that.
Yeah, there was a lot of love for that
do
movie in the
Creepshow
chat
2.
last week too. Creepshow 2.
It's on Tubi. Okay, yeah, we'll do Mars Attacks. That sounds good. That way Dean can watch that movie. Dean, you know what doesn't attack, Dean? Our Patreon.
Our beautiful Patreonies, the 3 pillars, is coined by John. Sean Fear, Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley. Equan is Egon. That was hilarious.
Jesus.
He's back now. Someone said Equan there and back again. I think it was Niculio. Chris Valen, Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giss, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krepp, Big Ol' Fern, King Zach, Caesar Marquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick DeGregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tukathri Watt, Derek B., Aris Portillo, Pablo Meza, Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO. Zach, are we doing that tonight?
Yes, we're watching a show with CC.
Yeah. Scott
Well, you
Smith,
said that was-
Don. You took it there, not me. Jimmy James. I was gonna shout out the thing just now, but you. Made it weird.
Yeah, you made it fucking weird, bro.
Jimmy James, Stephen Purchett, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Yeah, we're gonna watch the new episode of Andor and go on Rogue One 6 with CC3PO.
That show's still not over. So.
No, dude, still got 5 episodes left.
Jeez.
Pretty exciting.
We got to see Mommy Bix last episode too.
I was gonna say they should rename their channel.
Bro, 16 Bix. Our October Patreon benefits going out this Thursday. The Does Anybody Work sticker and the Halloween Dean sticker as part of our Halloween package. Great stuff there. We also have for November our Philo sticker. Quality, quantity, Philo.
Jesus. What is Philo
So
supposed to be?
good, it'll feel like
Phileo.
someone... So good, it'll make you feel like someone bonked you on the noggin. And we got Daniel Lee's beautiful face there.
Why does he got an egghead?
Because he got hit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He got it conked in the head with the luggage.
Yeah.
And the fans have been asking for it for years. The new This Week sticker. So that is very cool. We haven't done it in quite a while. We also have some cool stuff planned for December. John put together a really great host photo, so we'll be doing that as one of the stickers for December. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. If you want to join our Patreon, it starts at $5 a month. You get stickers sent straight to your door and access to Ox After Dark Replay. The $15 tier is the Figure Fix Assistance and the Certified Crispy Certificate. The $25 tier is the Deluxe Pog Set. on your first pledge and doubles of all the stickers we send and all the benefits of the previous tier. Sam says these stickers are absolute fire, all of them. YouTube channel members, we got Mojo Z78, OG Fan, Absolute Irwin, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V, Big Ol' Fern, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Carlito, CT603, Eddie Money Mendez, Sia Dreams, J Sia, and B Chan. Membership for our channel starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon, or $2.99 if you are not for the Peanut Gallery tier. Here's a look at the sticker for December. One of them, thanks to John for putting this together. I think we just got to do a quick cleanup on the After Dark logo, but this looks ready for print as far as I'm concerned. And we got some great shows. We got After Dark tomorrow at 10:30, which is the Wednesday show. Thursday, we have Small Talk, Sweet Sweet Angels. Dylan and Sean are going to be on that. Friday, we have Club. Be sure to enter in the Collectors Club Google form to enter in to win the 1/3 LBS Thor statue. And then Saturday, we have Dungeons and Dragons. We're going into the Amber Temple. We're trying to get an artifact, trying to survive. So great week of shows coming up. And then tomorrow, for the aforementioned After Dark, we'll be doing the OxCon recap stream. So hopefully Marco, Mark, Danny can join us. Should be really cool. Equan says the next sticker should be Ben's big nut in bed.
Oh my Lord.
Jesus.
I'd consider.
I'd consider it.
I want the nut to have a Santa hat, though. Actually, we got to do a Christmas themed sticker. It's probably January. So, Ben, stick with us until then. And Marco's honey hole. I want a Marco and Ben nut and honey hole sticker.
Wow. Companion pieces right there.
Look at this. Ben Thomas became a YouTube channel member.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's only taken him like 12 months.
I changed my credit card and it expired. I've been on there for a while.
Yeah, he has been.
Okay.
Here we go. We got
I have been.
Public shirts available starting at $13, going up to $20. I recommend getting them on sale because I'm not going to gaslight you. Get that shit on sale. Don't pay $20 for those shirts. I wouldn't. I don't. John, can we read our socials, please? That's the difference between like $1 for me, but it's like $7 for you guys. So get that shit on sale.
Social media, we got on Facebook, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, Instagram at Collecting Weekly @CollectingWeekly_clips, and at the _everyday_collector. On Facebook, the Collecting Weekly Auxiliary group. That's where you're going to find the giveaway information. And please, please, please fill out that form, because if you don't fill out the form, you're not part of the giveaway. You got to fill out the form and submit it.
Yeah, the form is the only way we get your email address, the only way that we're able to verify that you've done these things. This is the I'll put that link there for you, John. If you want to enter in, it's a $1,500 statue. All you'll need to do is cover shipping. It will be a bit expensive, but it's also a $1,500 statue. That is 1/3 scale. Shout out time. It is Liao, 1/6 scale man, and Miguel, Toy Quest 101. That is a mouthful. It's their birthdays today, so happy I want to say it's 47th birthday Liao and 56th birthday to Miguel. So very cool.
Happy birthday! I won't sing the song.
Also, Ben has taken his first step into a bigger world. He's got official merch on his TeePublic store. Do you want to plug that, Ben? In fact, I'll see if I can pull it.
You're on mute, Ben.
You're on mute, you dingus.
Lights were
So
too
excited.
the link, Zach. The link is down right now. So the link is down till Monday.
What happened to your link?
Somebody disputed the image of me, like my actual logo, and
it's probably the things that you put your face on.
Maybe I like whatever, I emailed them back and I'm like, I designed this myself. I changed all the colors and everything, and they approved it. So they're like, it'll be back up Monday. So
Ben,
I will have a link to the Ben Thomas Show merch. I've got a Tough Nut to Swallow T-shirt on there, as well as the show logo itself.
Do you have it on your Instagram, like the picture?
Super fun. Yep. I think so. If not,
Here,
I can
I'll
send
pull
it
up
to you
your
real quick.
Instagram.
I was about to order 10,000. Oh, shit.
The Tough Nut, that's a Tough Nut to Swallow quote did happen on our show, so you owe us royalties for every shirt you sell. Just letting you know.
50% right off.
He's frozen. They're after
The way that he froze too was just such a...
I was like, damn, he's fucking mean mugging me.
He did not like...
Look, I just gotta say it. Cuervo says if you don't get a Bed Thomas shirt, it would be the biggest marketing miss of the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Yeah, you gotta do the Bed Thomas show. Did you? Is this squirrel
100%.
T-shirt or is that
100%?
Oh, that is a T-shirt.
No, it's,
is that a
it's a
squirrel?
squirrel that from Instagram. No, it's not a T-shirt. It's an Instagram image.
You got to be
I put it on
careful
there
if you're using
as a tough nut.
like the nut. Like if that's someone's nut, you don't want that on your shirt, right?
No,
Would
I
never
drew
want
that in
man's
paint.
nut on
I
my
drew it in
shirt.
paint.
Okay, I just want to make sure because they will fuck your shit up on TeePublic for that. But yeah, it's really really big news for you, Ben. You got stickers, you got some merch now.
seems
You'll
like
love to
they
see it.
did it. They
Now he just needs a new computer with the proceeds.
Yeah, what happened? He was doing so well the whole show, and then right at the end.
I have no idea what's going on. It's just totally. I think it's because of the snowstorm. Though it's.
I see.
Snowstorm.
Bro,
Mark-
it was. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I just wanted to also plug the Game of Thrones recap that Marco and I did last night.
Oh, dude.
Here.
I was so confused because Marco sent me a link. He was like, here you go, boys. And I was like, what is this? I was like, what is this link? I didn't realize you guys were streaming. I would have loved it.
It wasn't particularly well planned, but I thought the content was like pretty solid. Yeah, it was just a good time to just fuck around and chat. So would love to have you guys on like more like on a one-on-one format like that. It was just like cool.
You
just
talking Game of Thrones, bro? I'm there. Just let me
all right,
know.
let's do it. Well, you weren't there, but the next time.
Well, you didn't even say what it was. You were just like, here's a link. I was like, I don't know what this
Do
is.
you need to know, or can you just show up? Just show up for a bro, you know? No,
Well, I don't know.
We'll plan it out better.
What if it's like a pick on Dean stream? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Every stream is.
shut up, John.
Motherfucker, we put a spoiler warning at the beginning of the show, Equan. How dare you? Oh, and I see. Yeah,
That'd
I
make
ruined the show.
That'd make a great carpool collecting. Bash Dean.
What's that?
Pick on Dean stream.
Picking on Dean. Picking on Dean stream.
Wow.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Don't. Oh, no, I was going to say, Zach, I don't know. This morning, I opened my door, and it's like a cool, crisp, like 60 degrees. I'm like, yes. And then, like, a few hours later, it was like 80. I was like, what the fuck
It made
is
no
this?
fucking sense.
The snowstorm reminded me because of Ben, but I was like, what is this? I got outside.
Bro,
I was all
those are-
excited. I'm going to enjoy the day. And I was like, nope, I'm going back inside. This is fucking
Those are the
horseshit.
best days, though. It's nice and cool. You can sleep with the windows open, and then
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I left my door open, and then like I said, it just like went all the way back up to 80. I was like, this is horseshit.
Huge. I want to give a shout out to D-Rock for making his CW appearance on the club on Friday. It was a good time. Really nice guy. Appreciate you, D-Rock.
Congrats to John winning our first hot seat month. How about this? At the end of the year, we got to get like a plaque with everyone's that won the name. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be funny.
I'll do that. That sounds fun. Yeah, John, I'll send you your bonus on Monday or Tuesday. We'll get you your 1 minute of unfiltered airtime.
I don't know what we're gonna say.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of time.
You know, you can buy a
also-
T-shirt with that $25. Just saying.
A collecting weekly one.
John's-
Yeah, I might.
If John,
How can I buy a T-shirt? The damn site's down.
It's gonna get seized by customs, John. They're not gonna shut you down, John. Getting this copyrighted Ben Thomas shirt.
limited time offer.
Stop that customs. Fuck.
Ben's gonna have the only one shirt of his own face.
Don't miss out.
Like, I don't know, this looks like some Looney Tunes, bro.
I like how like that's someone else's nut. No, I drew that on paint.
He's like, nah, bro, that's my nut.
I thought it was a good nut for paint, okay? I thought it was
like,
a
I didn't
good
put
nut
someone
for
else's
paint.
nut on my shirt.
Oh, no.
Ben's like, I was only swallowing my own nut.
Oh
my God, I'm so warm.
It's the train wreck. End the show. I'm Zach.
Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm John.
I'm Marco.
And I'm a tough nut to swallow.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
what?